probably won't eat those ears. But I'm still gonna try to get those stupid man dog ears. Or maybe this sweet whatever that is from Cloud Atlas. And you should still donate to, like, not be a jerk. And if you know a trans teen personally, do the right thing and just, leave them alone. Because like all teens, they probably just want to be left the f alone. Or cigarettes. Give them cigarettes. Teens love that. I am being told that I can't advise people to give cigarettes to teens because of laws or something. But as we've just pointed out, laws can be bad, so do what you want with that. Smoking. Oh no, what do I say? Ah, geez, it's the end of the thing. Oh yeah, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and be sure to, the alert bell or whatever. That's a YouTube thing. The links in the description also exist, and podcast. It's called Even More News. It's also this podcast. This is a show. This show that you watch as a podcast is available. Patreon.com/somemorenews. We've got merch. I should have found the... It's not here! Hey, Katie, I know you're listening. I think there's like a leak in the studio.
Hey, Drippy, what can I do for you?
Well, the reason you called me Drippy. I could use a hand, etc.
Never fear, Drippo. The Stoll Foundation can help people like you.
Oh, good. The Stoll Foundation. Glad that is apparently something. So, are you gonna fix the ceiling or do something else? Probably. You're probably gonna do something else, right? Like some bit.
Look under your desk.
I hate this.
It's a head diaper. As the Stoll Foundation continues collecting data, fielding opinions from ceiling experts, researching the need for fixed ceiling leaks, and investing in ceiling education designed by me, well, we offer this head diaper to help with those leaky ceilings.
What about, like, a plumber? Big piece of tape?
Put on the diaper, Drippy.
Why is it already wet? Billionaire philanthropy is kind of a scam. Oh, I get it. The ceiling leak, plus the indirect and functionally useless way of helping me with my ceiling leak, is a metaphor for the episode. How clever of us. So here's some more news. Philanthropy. Does it, perhaps, in some demonstrable ways, kinda suck? Seems like a weird thing to be mad at. It's like making a takedown video about Steve Irwin. But to be clear, I'm not saying charity is a bad thing. As a general concept and a way to get rid of old clothes and chips DVDs, charity is great. Our focus today is specifically on philanthropy, and a philanthropic foundation is different from a regular charity. While a charity is a collective working together for a need or cause, often a specific one at that, philanthropy, in the modern context, is a private initiative to promote or invest in a supposed and often broader public good. Based upon the topic of this video, you can safely assume that supposed is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Because while it may sound like a net good, there's always a catch with philanthropy, even when those behind it mean well. Hence, this episode, and the pooling of, hopefully, water by my feet. For example, take the Rosenwald Schools, a philanthropic initiative that was touted and celebrated for decades. In 1917, African-American thought leader and educator Booker T. Washington paired up with Julius Rosenwald, the part owner of Sears and Roebuck and Company, to build quality schools for black children in the segregated South. By 1928, more than 1 in 5 schools for black children were Rosenwald schools. Adjusted into future bucks, Rosenwald spent 70 million space dollars of his own money to accomplish all of this. He could have bought so many orphans with that money, but he didn't. Not even one lovable scamp or a precocious ragamuffin or even a fancy mutton chop. That is commitment to education. And even today, Rosenwald has been championed as the gold standard for the philanthropic rich person. But even this kind, not orphan-buying gentleman is not without faults. In historian Olivier Zunz's book, Philanthropy in America, he points out that while Rosenwald did enable hundreds of thousands of black children to get an education, he did it without challenging the segregationist views of state governments. If we look deeper into the conditions that Rosenwald himself required before he opened his checkbook, we can see that it actually upheld Jim Crow laws in the South. Historian Alan Spears explains why what appeared as a step forward was actually a step back for black citizens.
Generally speaking, the Rosenwald model was for him to provide about a third of the money required to construct a school. And then it would be up to the state and the local African Americans to produce the rest of the money. And in doing that, he empowered them to really invest in their time, their resources, in the construction of these schools, the maintenance of these schools, and then making sure that their children attended these schools and benefited from them. The financial contributions of the African American community, in some senses, it was an unfair second burden. They were tax-paying citizens. They should have been able to access public education.
In other words, black citizens were essentially being taxed twice. First, to finance the public schools they couldn't attend due to segregation, and then a second time to cover whatever Rosenwald and the state wouldn't provide to build the Rosenwald schools. In total, only about 32% of the funding came from Rosenwald, while 45% came from rural black communities. And on top of forcing black Americans to meet or exceed his contribution, Rosenwald also required the approval and cooperation of white school officials. Not trying to shit on this guy's grave, because he certainly did more than most people during this time. Also, it's really hard to actually shit directly on a grave, unless one of those, like, the flat ones. But the Rosenwald schools did nothing to address the root problem of segregation, and even slowed down progress toward the permanent solution of, you know, letting black children attend public school. In other words, instead of fighting segregation, Rosenwald, whether or not he knew he was doing it, was rewarding and reinforcing it through his philanthropy. Again, it's hard to be mad at someone providing schools to black children during the early 1900s, but I have a lot of constructive notes for the guy. And this exact model is still adopted by the obscenely wealthy today. Take my best friend Mark Cuban, for example. Out of the goodness of his super cool heart, and also because he has more disposable income than most nations of the world, Cuban recently disrupted the healthcare market by launching cost-plus drugs, selling medication online at incredibly low prices. Now, some may argue that in our dystopian nightmare country in which people go into debt for necessary prescription meds, providing access to affordable medicine is good. And even though it's a company, it's a philanthropic endeavor. Or maybe, perhaps, there's actually a chance that Cuban is just making a buck by undercutting the competition in a broken healthcare system. But it can be both. Okay, people are complex. That's why we have a whole magazine devoted to them. People. They're just like us. In either case, whether you believe Cuban is as cool as he appears to be, and he is objectively unquestionably cool, cost-plus drugs doesn't address the actual problem. It allows elected officials to continue avoiding any meaningful healthcare reform in this country by having their constituents rely on a better alternative that's at the whims of an unelected billionaire. A very cool billionaire, but still a billionaire. A private citizen with no legal obligation to serve anyone's interests but his own. And you could argue that by creating this alternative, Cuban is actually delaying reform by treating the symptom rather than the cause. And that's not the only way these organizations can go wrong. Again, that's a company. There are foundations that do this. In fact, you could easily argue that Cuban is on the better side of the spectrum because at least he's offering something useful through a company. On the other side of the spectrum, we get not only the ineffective, but extremely suspicious and controlling endeavors.
Hillary says she's gonna be president. We say President Hillary. President Hillary. President Hillary.
Ah, yes, the Clinton Foundation. There they are. Look at old Hill and Bill being definitely casual and very normal there. Their foundation is under scrutiny because while they have provided assistance to various nations in need, there's still some potential shadiness regarding donors from foreign nations while Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. Not to mention that after over a decade of work in Haiti, promises made to the nation are still unfulfilled. It's almost as if the Clintons, who had their honeymoon in Haiti, have been using their foundation to exert influence and control over the nation without actually helping that much. And in fact, a lot of Haitian citizens don't like them. And as the Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton even threatened to cut funding to Haiti unless their elections go a specific way. Gee, it's almost as if the Clintons are using their foundation to make Haiti their own personal playground for them and their family, while their philanthropic quests have limited success. And it's almost as if we did an entire video about this and the many ways America and the rest of the world have failed Haiti specifically, often through bullshit charities leveraging the many disasters there. Haiti has basically been ravaged by a combination of earthquakes and people claiming to help with the earthquakes. And while the Clintons may have had some actual success over there, it really seems like they're more focused on control than genuine care, which is a common theme of this episode, as in rich people who want to help, but only in one specific way. Hey, want to see a real nightmare of a video?
Yeah, I've committed to starting the Startup Education Foundation, whose first project will be a $100 million challenge grant.
$100 million.
$100 million.
Yes! Clap, 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 my happy little gerbils. A $100 million education grant is a pretty good deed, right? Who could have a problem with that? Did you notice Republican Governor Chris Christie and Democrat Mayor Cory Booker were there? Plus, Oprah clapped. And she would never boost the profile of anyone who has actually ruined lives. Not a fourth time, anyway. Not that you need a humble news goat to tell you this, but no living creature should ever trust a single thing Mark Zuckerberg says or does. That was the whole point of the movie. This $100 million investment was to essentially turn Newark public schools into charter schools without any input from the residents and by completely bypassing the democratic process. Even if charter schools were good, and a lot of them are not, a sizable bulk of Zuck's $100 million was spent on $1,000 per day consultants and also $30 million on back pay for the teachers union as neighborhood schools were closed down. That's very good for the union. Pay teachers, pay them all more. But that wasn't exactly what he promised. So the education grant may have been a bust, but that's not the limit of Zuck's generosity. He's also very generous to himself, as the donation of 99% of his Facebook stock went into his own LLC, which can legally invest in for-profit companies, make donations to political campaigns and lobbyists, and essentially allows him to do anything he wants with the money. It's like some kind of like a protective structure for taxes, like a tax shed, the old tax roof and walls, as they say, which it turns out is pretty common with these generous rich folk. Speaking of overly controlling tech weirdos, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation plans to donate $8 billion in 2023 to help a variety of important causes, such as education for impoverished children and healthcare, but only under certain conditions. Sound familiar? The BM Foundation, abbreviated to save time and also because poop, has an extremely long history of failing to help students. For example, this 6-year and $575 million project to improve teaching that was found to have exactly zero or negative effect when the dust settled. Recently, they cut their funding for reading, writing, and the arts to shift focus to math because Bill Gates just wanted to. And what happens to those other programs? Who cares, I guess? Bill Gates sure doesn't. So even if the BM Foundation shifted its rumbling money cheeks to dump a steamy $1.1 billion pile onto your school district, the money could only be spent on very specific things. Over 4 years, the foundation planned to improve poor children's math scores by developing new curricula and digital tools for them, rather than simply using the money to fund the schools across the board. This plan was essentially using the poorest kids in the nation as guinea pigs for teaching techniques funded and conceived by a man who has never been a school teacher. Though, he might have an interest in school children regardless. Huh? That's a cheap shot, all right? But what are you gonna do? You know, he's got all the money. He can afford the expensive shots. I can't. Anyway, Alex Molnar, an actual educator and part of the National Education Policy Center, criticized this move, saying, quote, "It is so fundamentally misdirected and so obviously wrong, both in the moral sense and in the rational sense, that it is literally breathtaking. This very wealthy, very narrow man can continually torment school children, while all the while pretending that somehow he's making the world better." It really feels weird to be mad at people donating money to schools. I get that. But I really can't stress enough that this same money might better be used if simply given to charities that are more equipped to know what to do with that donation. But instead, it's being focused based on the opinion of Bill and Melinda Gates. And while they probably consult with experts, it's clear that this method isn't working. And you can see this with their other foundational endeavors. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation not only, big quotes, helps education, but spends more money on public health each year than the World Health Organization, which seems bonkers because, according to its name, that organization is focused on the health of the world, which is everybody. All people. Now, providing funding for public health is not evil. It's actually the opposite of that. However, things are a little tricky and uncomfortable when a foundation controlled by a few people gets to have a bloated share of influence over public health policies instead of health experts. For example, the BM Foundation wanted to finance the eradication of polio, and it got them that good press, which on the surface is a totally fair trade. We absolutely should fund its eradication. I'm sick of hearing about it. Like Semisonic once said, it's closing time. One last call for polio. The problem, as multiple research papers have explained, is that just because the foundation has prioritized polio doesn't mean that polio is the leading problem. And in fact, other countries, specifically poorer countries, have been dealing with much bigger issues with chronic diseases that impact more people. But because Bill and Melinda Gates decided that polio was the hot hip thing, those countries would have to shift their priorities away from the actual problems in order to get any kind of funding. In other words, instead of listening to what people need and then providing it, they picked a disease and worked backwards from there. It's like if your house was on fire and the city sent a landscaper to help. Like, yeah, obviously, sure, the azaleas do need some trimming, but it's not the first problem to address. The Gates Foundation also supports Gates' firm views on intellectual property and patent laws, which in turn makes it difficult for poorer nations to develop and replicate generic versions of vaccines and medicine on their own. This further forces them to rely on not only the foundation, but also the pharmaceutical companies that monopolize the patents for these desperately needed drugs. So yes, the act of donating money isn't bad. However, when you donate that money while dictating how and where it is spent on top of mandating conditions for the recipient, that's just a power grab. An undemocratic power grab that either undermines or actively thwarts the cause it's claiming to champion. But of course, this is all nitpicking the individual cases. Perhaps we can't demonize the concept of philanthropy based on a few bad eggs. Which, coincidentally, it's what this dripping water smells like. I really hope it's water. Anyway, after the break, we're going to demonize the concept of philanthropy on its own without the help of rich jerks. We don't need them, but we do need you to watch these ads for things. Hey, it's Cody J, and I want to talk to you about your sack. Your torso sack, that is. I'm talking tummies and nothing else. Every day we cram our sacks all willy-nilly, but we need to fill these willy sacks with nutritious things like bananas and fish. But we don't always have time to fill our willy banana sacks, which is why there's AG1, a daily nutritional supplement that manifests in slurping drink form. I gave AG1 a try because it helps support gut health that my slurping willy banana sack so desperately needs. I slurp it when I do these ads, and it makes me feel like dynamite ready to blow. Watch me blow. Blow up my slurping willy banana sack, you capsule. Every scoop is crammed up with 75 vitamins, minerals, probiotics, and whole food sourced ingredients designed to boost energy and even help give you healthier looking skin and nails. That's the sack outside of your other sack. So if you want to take ownership of your health, try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/more news. That's drinkag1.com/more news. Check it out for your slurpy sack. Hey, hello! We are back and stronger than ever. We were just talking about all the ways that rich people misuse philanthropy as tax shelters or ways to exert undemocratic control. You may have noticed that everyone from the Clintons to the Gateses really love using their charity to also maintain a sizable amount of power. And maybe that's an inherent detail to philanthropy that we should discuss. It's a flaw that exists no matter who is doing philanthropy. Basically, every billionaire can't help themselves but to make a decision that ultimately profits them, creating more problems than they try to fix. Combine that with either a lack of focus or a focus on the wrong things, and a lot of these philanthropic efforts simply don't do much, while also pushing aside the very people they claim to be trying to help, and just kinda wasting lots of money for PR. It's the Mr. Burns slurry of it all, for all you young folk to understand. Kids these days in their 1997 references. But aside from the individual failings, there are inherent problems with the philanthropic model as well. As I already mentioned, philanthropic foundations are easily abused in the form of tax exemption. In fact, they seem designed for this. Groups like the Gates Foundation, the Bloomberg Family Foundation, the Ford Foundation, the Wayne Foundation, and the McDuck Foundation are classified as private under the Internal Revenue Code, making them exempt from taxes since they are making donations or grants for supposedly good causes. And yet, even though I leave my trash in the street for the neighborhood kids to pick through every week, I'm somehow not exempt? It's a whack system. And what's even whacker, these foundations are, by law, only required to give out 5% of their total investment assets each year. I should stress that for a moment. These foundations only have to donate 5% of what they have each year. That's it. The rest they can just hold on to, which basically makes them giant tax-free money vaults for their founders to swim and in. So for example, in 2012, a little over $300 billion in charitable donations were made in the US. That's counting giant foundation grants, the cocaine-stained dollar your mom crammed into a jar at the 7-Eleven, and all the money I gave to hog fuckers, which it turns out is not an anti-Boer organization. And yet, that same year, philanthropic foundations reported more than $700 billion in assets. Gee, that seems like if they have $700 billion, there should be way more donations being made, huh? Sure seems like they're hanging on to a butt ton of money. And that near $1 trillion figure can't all be operational costs. 5% you guys. And even that paltry 5% grant requirement doesn't necessarily mean money, as foundations can donate non-cash assets like real estate or artwork to further relieve their tax burden because someone thought, I don't know, maybe starving refugees could eat this erotic Picasso painting. Why don't they sell it themselves and donate the proceeds? Well, often these non-cash assets have an inflated value, so selling them would claim a smaller tax deduction. But because those non-cash assets aren't worth what they say, the lost revenue gets passed on to the taxpayer. You know, us people. Meaning that we end up paying between 37 and 74 cents to every dollar a billionaire donates to charity. This method especially helps the ultra-wealthy because they can offset any losses from capital gains tax by donating appreciated stock or other erotic Picasso paintings they have just lying around. Our favorite emerald mine not knower-abouter and innovator Elon Musk is a prime example. In 2021, Musk donated $5.7 billion to charity in the form of Tesla stock rather than cash. Through this loophole, Musk was able to deduct so much from his federal tax bill and capital gains tax that he ended up saving 74% of his gift to charity compared to if he donated in cash or was taxed in full. That's saving 74 cents for every dollar, which should sound immediately familiar to everyone who was watching this video 10 seconds ago. There are entire industries based around allowing rich people to store their wealth under the guise of charity. A very popular method is called a donor advised fund, or DAFs. A DAF has all the tax benefits of a charity when you give money to it, but holds on to the money like a foundation would. And in fact, while the DAF legally owns the money, the entire draw is that they give the donor full control over where the money will go. It's a middleman, the center of a human centipede, both taking and giving shit. And while they were originally designed for good, because there's no deadline or obligation to actually donate any of the funds in the DAF, they are mainly just used as tax-exempt piggy banks. They are even run by banks instead of charities. And since those banks can charge for management fees and make investments with that money, it's actually in their best interest that the cash stays in the DAFs instead of actually going to a worthy cause. This is probably why DAFs now take in a fifth of the total amount of money donated by individuals. And according to a study of 2,600 DAF accounts, the majority of donors paid out less than 5% of their assets. In 2020, over a third of them didn't pay anything at all. No nude Picassos for you, orphans! There are now over 1 million DAFs operating in the United States. As of 2020, they hold around $160 billion of charity money. And I literally mean holding. And while there has been a bipartisan movement in Congress and the Senate to tighten up these obvious loopholes, opposition by foundations such as Vanguard Charitable, Bollinger Foundation, and the Greed Slop Group have killed any proposals. Like those nude Picassos, it's a blur. And one more reason the philanthropy system is mainly designed to make rich people look good while actually just protecting their money and power. But to be fair and balanced and bouncy but taut, there are occasions in which a philanthropic foundation actually does good. And it's worth looking at how that happens. Take the Carter Center, originally founded by former peanut farming US President and King of the Hill character, Jimmy Carter. In a huge success story, Carter's foundation has basically eradicated guinea worm, a deadly parasite that wrecked the lives of 3.5 million people back in the mid-1980s. The Carter Center brought that number down to only 13 cases of infection reported in 2022, which is great! Down with worms, etc. And while the Carter Center is very spread out, it did the thing the Gates Foundation tried or pretended to do with polio. It found a neglected medical problem that actually needed a lot of help and hyper-focused on that one thing. And it still took nearly 40 years to do. And yet, while the Carter Center is still highly rated among most charity watchdog groups regarding the amount of donated money actually spent directly towards their initiatives, they still have 9.9 years worth of available assets that are untouched. So even the best philanthropic group still isn't terribly efficient in dispersing funds or achieving their goals. But you see how they found some success, specifically by focusing on a single problem and then working to eradicate that one thing. Jimmy isn't trying to solve world hunger or broadly save the planet. He fucking hated those worms. And he was gonna get those goddamn worms. Their whole lives up.
We were driving along and this elementary school children had a big sign that says, "Watch out, guinea worm, here comes Jimmy Carter." That was almost as good as a Nobel Prize for me.
He's a real worm Hitler, that Jimmy Carter. Forever will we call him that. Forever should he be called former President Worm Hitler. So a common problem with philanthropic endeavors and even charities is that they often set way too broad of goals. Compare that to something like Smile Train. Smile Train is a very specific charity that pays for children's cleft lip and palate surgeries to improve how they eat, speak, and breathe to prevent additional health complications as they age. Why do they focus on something this specific? Well, because it's a serious medical need that can be easily fixed. Cleft lip and palate surgeries are a permanent solution to improve lives within an outpatient procedure. In short, it's a specific dire need that's easily achievable and improves lives of those less fortunate. It's not combating a giant spectrum of massive concepts such as eliminating hunger, promoting peace, or butt stuff. It's clear and transparent in its mission, and donors can specifically cite what tasks their donations fund if they want to. So again, focus. Pick a cause and work on it until that cause is fixed. One very good example of someone doing this is Dolly Parton. Parton has a net worth of $650 million, and on paper, she's no different than any other multimillionaire creating a philanthropic foundation. But the big difference is focus. The Dollywood Foundation she started in 1988 was created to decrease school dropout rates in Sevier County, Tennessee, and has offered $15,000 college scholarships to 5 seniors in the county every year since 2000. During their efforts, dropout rates went from 35% to 6% in the affected classes. After that, her foundation shifted focus to Parton's Imagination Library in 1995, which helps incentivize reading to youngsters in Sevier County by donating 1 book per month to every child, from birth to their first year of school. And while the Imagination Library did expand to other partners in other countries, that expansion was based on the success of the local program. After wildfires ravaged East Tennessee in 2016, Parton raised money for the My People Fund to financially assist families who were impacted by the fires to pay for food, rent, housing, and mental health resources by paying them $1,000 per month over the next 6 months to help them recover. You may have Googled My People Fund and couldn't find a .org anywhere. That's not because the fund was a sham or secretly an altruistic ghost, but rather because it accomplished its goal and doesn't accept donations anymore. Because, like a good charity, it addressed the problem it was created to resolve and then vanished. In fact, the last checks the fund handed out were for $5,000 to make sure all of the donated money was dispersed. The My People Fund was praised not just because of Parton's popularity, although let's be honest, that helps, but because of its effectiveness in working in tandem with local social services and allowing the families themselves to use the charity money as they saw fit. Bill Gates must be fuming. She should have made some of those people do math, is what she should have done. In addition to her foundation, Parton, either personally or through her other companies, has donated to help fund Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine, flood relief for Middle Tennessee, and research into pediatric diseases. It's pretty easy for her to do since she reportedly makes up to $8 million per year on royalties for her songs 9 to 5 and Jolene alone, which, to be fair, very well deserved. Also, she runs a sweet amusement park and has spoken up many times for LGBTQ rights. As far as rich people go, she might be the best one. But just the one! Sorry, Cuban, you look scrumptious. And I mean, to be clear, there's no doubt that Dolly is enjoying generous tax deductions for these charitable acts. That's not a Dolly slam. I would never. Would smash, respectfully, but not slam. Writing off charitable donations as tax deductions is something she legally has the right to do, and perhaps that's okay, although people have argued that that system is designed exclusively to aid the rich. My point is that Dolly's praiseworthy acts aren't really showcasing any kind of sainthood as the media likes to portray. They're just exposing how low the bar is. And let's be clear, we're also not necessarily endorsing Smile Train, Imagination Library, the McDuck Foundation, or anything else. They have shady baggage, and there are valid criticisms against them too. I hear that McDuck pays women to eat their hair. Not even in front of him, he just likes hearing about it. But we're not totally damning them either. Even the best charities are imperfect, so in the end, it is up to you to decide where you want to donate your cocaine-stained dollars. However, we do encourage you, if you are able, to research and see which charities you're comfortable supporting and give where you can. Because the other issue is that when a charity gets too big, they run into the same problems that philanthropic foundations do, both the tax sheltering, paying too much for overhead, erotic artwork maintenance, and so on. The good thing with most charities compared to the ones backed by philanthropists is that you have some influence into how they are being run. Not necessarily by donating your money, but also donating your time through volunteer work. Volunteering can provide personal benefits for your brain and bank account too. You can also do it while drunk if they're cool about it, which, fair enough, they probably won't be. Again, while there should be scrutiny, charities as a concept are good when they're focused on a specific goal and intend on being temporary, especially if they point out the systemic problem causing the issue that they are trying to fix. Because the end goal is for that charity to be so successful that it stops existing. That's the whole gosh darn point. It's like a superhero. if they're fighting escalating crime and disaster for 20 goddamn movies, then maybe the problem is them, you know? So the reason we're making this video isn't to tell you that charities or philanthropy, whatever, it's all a waste of time, but rather to reassess their basic purpose. And if a charity or philanthropic endeavor seems to exist in permanent stasis with a broad and undefined goal, well, then that's a big red flag. But on top of the nuance of how philanthropy needs to work, there's also a larger and systemic reason why they all kinda suck, in like a broad philosophical way. All charity is bad. Oh, and we will talk about exactly why that is after this next ad break. Because remember, we love you, and we love... I think some of the water dripping from my mouth. I think I got something from my mouth. It's like milky and tart. I don't think it's water. It's milky and tart. Water's not milky and tart. What is...
Sweet spiders! What was that sound? Is it that ghost on a bicycle again? Or could it be the sound of another sale for your online Shopify store that you definitely have? But did you also know that Shopify has everything you need for in-person sales too? I didn't make that ghost for the record. He was a ghost when I found him, so get off my back about the ghost. Shopify's point of sale system gives you everything you need for an in-person store, from payments to inventory management. It also unites your online and in-person sales so you can track your business from one place. Like how I trapped that ghost in my garage so he doesn't keep appearing over my bed. I didn't make you, ghost. Leave me alone. Along with all the things I just said, Shopify lets you connect with customers online or IRL and helps you drive traffic with plug-and-play tools built for marketing everywhere from TikTok to Instagram to beyond. Maybe even in the spirit world. So sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/more-news, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/more-news to take your retail business to the next level today. Shopify.com/more-news. Do it for the bicycle ghost, who I definitely didn't make.
We are back. Something dripped on my tongue, and now my tongue is numb. So that's cool. You know how in The Ring, the ghost water leaked out of the TV? Kind of tasted like how that looked. Anyway, we teased a larger problem with all charities and philanthropies before the break. A sweeping issue that affects them all, no matter how good or bad. And if you've spent any amount of time watching this show, you might know where I'm heading with this. Because charities are, by their definition, just addressing the symptoms of many systemic issues rather than providing a cure. If Dolly Parton's home county had proper government funding put towards literacy and education, she wouldn't have needed to start the Imagination Library. If medical care was a universal worldwide human right backed by tax dollars, all cleft palate surgeries would be covered and paid for without a need for Smile Train. If legislation was passed to make it a right for the hungry to be fed instead of wasting leftover food, we wouldn't need a charity like Feeding America. This has been the case for everything we've talked about. The Rosenwald schools wouldn't be needed if segregation was fixed. Same with My Best Friends, Cost Plus Drugs, and everything else across the board. Charities and philanthropies should be seen as signifiers of a failing in a society, a temporary bandage while we work on fixing the larger problem. They're like those little spare tires you're not supposed to drive on for too long, except we're just riding that to oblivion like a teenager on a road trip, or Thelma on a road trip, or Louise on a road trip, or God forbid, both of them on a road trip. Imagine that. And for the record, a lot of charities know this and do work to change the policy that would make them not have to exist. And so, on top of all the problems we've talked about, philanthropy was never the most effective option for rich people if they actually want to change the world. It's not even the second best option. The second best thing a rich person can do is donate real money to a real charity instead of forming their own shady foundation. And the first best thing they can do is pretty simple. Are you ready? All you gotta do is pay your fair share of taxes. Ta-da! Can we get a fun sound to celebrate the revelation? Thanks. We know the tax system is kind of fucked and that money is subject to the decisions of jokeholes. They're at least our jokeholes that we elected, and more importantly, we can unelect them if they vote against our democratically determined interests. In theory, mind you. It's America, so we're not doing great right now. But the bottom line is, if these ultra-rich philanthropists truly want to change the world, they should want to be taxed and actually fight for that to happen. Tax incentives for charity and philanthropy largely benefit the richest Americans at the expense of the entire country. So help us reform them and just pay your fair share, I say to all you billionaires whomst I know are watching. It allows a more equal playing field in that instead of hoarding money into a foundation or shooting rockets into nowhere, billionaires could just vote like everyone else. Or heck, it's not the best idea, but they can always lobby politicians to care about causes too, I guess. It's not the best solution, but a nice rich person could technically pay off a senator to not support stuff like fracking, I think. But of course, the concept of good bribes and everything else I've talked about, it's all assuming that the wealthy are actually concerned with making a change. As we've been pointing out, even assuming they aren't doing it for tax reasons, a big draw for rich philanthropists seems to be that they get to feel like heroes, and most importantly, circumvent the government and take priority over the rest of Americans. After all, Bill Gates could certainly just be taxed and vote like everyone else, but by forming a foundation, he gets to dictate how education works. And apparently, he dictates that it works poorly. I'm willing to guess a lot of them like the fact the government is inept and doesn't solve these problems, because that means they get to swoop in and take control. Same goes for the Clintons in Haiti, right? If we fix the systemic problems around that country, then they wouldn't benefit from their position. And don't get me started on Worm Hitler. So maybe that's the actual solution here. The most effective way to help address those in need is for the rich to be taxed fairly and more, with loopholes and deductions for charitable donations eliminated, and then use that influx of money to address those issues through democratic means. And that way, we can also just stop fucking talking about rich people, because I don't know if you know this, but they are exhausting. So let's just tax them fairly. And that's good for them too. For starters, we won't eat them if we're not starving. Maybe we'll even start liking some of them. Maybe they can all start their own roller coaster parks and be Dolly Partons. But also, they can just enjoy being rich. Tax them fairly and let them go be rich assholes having yacht orgies and blood rituals or whatever. Just go fuck off and be rich. The main reason society hates rich people is because they drain resources from everyone else without actually giving back while people starve or struggle to pay for insulin. So if they didn't do that, perhaps, in theory, we would hate them less, but more importantly, they would also leave us alone. It would starve the ultra-rich of any more power than what they already have. Because again, the idea behind charity is to create a society in which charity isn't needed anymore, right? But that won't happen if the rich and powerful benefit from it. If you can make money off of it, if charity is profitable, then that profit motive will inevitably warp it. Having the rich subsidize the mistakes and inefficiencies and insufficiencies of our government and society takes the power out of our hands and puts it into a super select few. And as a whole, they just fucking suck at it. And why wouldn't they? Mark Cuban isn't a medical doctor. He's the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. He famously owns a freaking Shark Tank. We shouldn't expect these people to be good at solving the world's problems beyond suggesting, well, through the power of the market. Nor should we want them to think that they can solve the world's problems. Because that's how you get Elon Musk. And I don't know if you know this, but that guy is not very good at anything. He can barely tweet. So let's leave the helping to the people who might actually know what they're doing and in turn take away power from the already way too powerful. Surely, that's not a controversial statement, and at the very least, best friend of me, billionaire Mark Cuban, if you're going to sell drugs at cost in a philanthropic manner, you could also point out how absurd and grotesque it is that apparently you have to do it. Point it out every day. Talk to politicians about it. Talk on the news about it every day. Make your own news. You have billions of dollars. Point out that you shouldn't need to do this. In fact, breaking news from the Mark Cuban TV news broadcast. In the nation, there is hunger and poverty and homelessness and illness. And there are also people with billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars, a stand-in for value and resources, accumulated in fewer and fewer hands via exploitation and inheritance and hard work. One of them does a business advice reality man show and owns a basketball team. And he was like, wait, they're charging what? For what? Okay, I guess I'll do it. And that is fucked up. That we have to be like, cool, very, very lucky that one of the billionaires had to decide to offer, quote, safe, affordable medicines with transparent prices. Heck, this is Mark Cuban TV news broadcast. I'm still like, what the fuck? Oh, things are bad. Anyway, I guess my point, apparently, is that selling cheap meds is great. But my pal, who's right over there actually, hey Cube, it's going Cube, you should work towards a world where you don't have to like start some cheap drug company so that people can get cheaper medicine. And you can do that by vocally supporting Bernie Sanders in the upcoming presidential election in 2024? Oh God. That's cool. We got this. No, this is the time. This is the round 3, all right? We got it, all right. He'll be what? He'll be like 80? 83? Oh. Okay. We got this.
Hey, Diapy, how's your Oh, you're not wearing the head diaper.
Never even thought about putting it on.
Well, that's a bummer, because that drip is probably coming from my crash pad. Remember that? It's canon now. And I sort of let Warmbo stay there for a while, so that's probably Warmbo water dripping down on ya.
Warmbo water?
Oh, you know how when Warmbo's in a room for too long, all the walls get dewy?
But some of it got in my mouth.
Oh, really? Okay, well, probably don't have to worry about it dripping on your head then.
What do you mean?
So listen, yeah, I'm gonna be out of town for a few weeks, just until you get better.
Get better from what? I don't feel sick. Miss Katie, Cody doesn't understand what Miss Katie is talking about. Cody isn't sick, you silly. Oh my God! Oh my God! What am I saying? Oh no!
And it's already started. Better just lock you in the studio too, to be safe. Okay, I'll see you in a few weeks. There's a grenade in the toilet tank. Good luck.
You know what I kind of like all of a sudden?
Meet Romney. Thanks for watching.
Stop it! Hey there, silly goats. Don't worry, I'm cured. I ate the grenade. Make sure to like and subscribe the video and to the channel for more videos on the channel. We've got a patreon.com/somemorenews. We've got a podcast called Even More News. And in this show, Some More News, as a podcast as well, where all the podcasts are. Go visit the podcast place. It's where the podcasts go and are gotten from to listen to the show wise for podcasts. Okay, look, get out of here. Thanks for watching. We got merch store. Warmbo's on it. He's me now, or not. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. But the important thing is, President is alive.
It's getting hot outside. Nowadays, it's difficult to turn on the news without hearing someone talking about global warming. Headlines are filled with references to rising temperature levels, fossil fuels, and encroaching danger. And the discussion around the subject has gotten as heated as the weather. This has been a topic I've been wary about weighing in on, simply because of how sensitive a subject it has become in recent times. I've sat on this particular video for 3 years, occasionally updating it, but not quite feeling it was the right time to release it. I didn't want to simply create more noise. However, I do now think there is something worth adding to the discussion. After all, there is plenty we hear about the current temperature of the planet. What is often not talked about is the patterns of temperature change that existed in the past that contextualize that modern temperature. Are we really the hottest we've ever been? Scientists believe that in the last 100 years, the global temperature has been increasing. But how does this fit into wider patterns and trends? And how did they find any of this out? I'm Alex McColgan, and you're watching Astrum. And today, we will be taking a closer look at the data recording the temperature history of our own planet. It's only by understanding the ancient past that we can contextualize the current discussion on global warming and answer what exactly are scientists so worried about. So, to begin, how do we know what the temperature used to be? It's easy to find the current global temperature today. All you need is a thermometer, and you can go outside and take a reading. With enough readings taken at different locations around the globe, you can find an average temperature for the whole planet. Scientists have actually been doing this since 1850, meaning that our records on average global temperatures are fairly accurate since this date. However, mercury thermometers were only invented in 1714. So how do we know what the temperature was before these global readings started being taken? How do we know the temperature 1,000 years ago, or even 1,000,000 years ago, before humans were on the scene? Some of you may already know the answer, or at least a partial answer. Scientists can approximate global temperatures in the past through ice coring. Essentially, when snow falls, because it is powdery, it traps little bubbles of air where it lands. If this snow doesn't melt, but has more snowfall on it later, such as in a very cold place like a glacier, you can end up with layers of snow and ice trapped air bubbles going back for many, many years. It creates something similar to the rings on a tree. By collecting ice formed this way, scientists can take sections to a lab and melt it, releasing the air relating to specific years. They then can measure the different ratios of gases released from the air bubbles, which tells them the atmospheric composition at that time. And because we can test how much heat is retained by a gas when exposed to a constant temperature like the sun, for instance CO2 retains more heat while oxygen retains less, with enough samples, scientists can calculate roughly what the global temperature was during that year. However, the oldest glaciers are only 1,000,000 or so years old. To get a good idea of the trends that govern global temperatures, we're going to have to go back much earlier than that. How do we know what the global temperature was over 1,000,000 years ago? The answer might surprise you. Clams. Actually, not clams, but something similar. A tiny single cellular organism no larger than a full stop called foraminifera. Like clams, these organisms produce shells around themselves, and these shells are slightly porous. Oxygen in particular is taken into the shell and trapped there, remaining in place even when the foraminifera dies. So, using a similar process to the ice cores, if scientists can find shells of dead foraminifera from a particular year, they can release that air and work out from it the global temperature. This process is slightly different, as instead of air composition, scientists are looking at different oxygen isotopes, but basically it's a very similar process. Foraminifera are still around today, and first came onto the scene 500 million years ago, so they are instrumental in helping us get a clear picture of global temperatures during this much longer time period. But what is that picture? Based on data collected from foraminifera, it looks something like this. There is a certain degree of uncertainty to this. Findings get more reliable the closer we get to the present day. But as you can see from general trends, the Earth's temperature has undergone significant changes over the last 500 million years. At times it has faced temperature averages 14 degrees Celsius hotter than we have today, and at other times about -5 degrees Celsius lower. So, we are not the hottest we have ever been. Then again, that's not surprising to anyone who knew that the surface of the Earth when it was just formed was mostly magma. But you may not have expected these fluctuations. Why are they happening? Scientists are not entirely sure, as there doesn't seem to be much of a pattern to them on this grand scale. But they believe that some of these fluctuations are from the emergence of new life forms. For instance, the arrival of plants at around 450 million years before the present might explain why the temperature dropped then. They started absorbing atmospheric CO2 and turned it into oxygen, which retains less heat. Other changes could have been caused by plate tectonics and volcanic activity putting more CO2 into the air, and still other changes could have been caused by possible meteor impacts, like the one that wiped out the dinosaurs. However, this is not the full picture. By increasing the resolution and zooming in slightly, we begin to see another interesting trend. Let's look at the 65 million year picture. Within the large sweeping changes, it turns out that there are many smaller fluctuations. These become more obvious when we zoom in again, and again, and again. By this point, we can see a distinct, smaller pattern occurring. Rapid rises in global temperatures, followed by gradual dips. It's hard to get your head around the sheer scope of the Earth's history, but each one of these dips represents entire ice ages. Ice ages are technically defined as any point in Earth's history where there is ice on the polar caps, something that is not always the case. So technically, as I've mentioned in a previous video, we are in an ice age right now. However, although the general trend of the Earth's temperature at the moment is towards ice ages, we are in something known as an interglacial period, a span of many thousands of years where the Earth is temporarily warmer in between full ice ages. In the last full ice age, the polar caps reached the UK and parts of the US. But what is causing these dips and rises on our graph? Well, I go into more detail about this in my video on Milankovitch cycles, which you can watch here, but just to brush up on them very quickly, Milankovitch cycles are the periodic changes that take place within our planet's climate due to fluctuations in its orbital movement around the Sun, usually over the course of thousands of years. Surface ice affects the temperature of a planet. The more surface ice a planet has, the colder the planet tends to be, as more heat is reflected back into space. But equally important is the direction that surface ice is facing. Consider ice to be like a shield that will reflect the sun's rays. If that ice is not pointed in the direction of the sunlight, it cannot reflect it. So anytime the planet points its surface ice towards the sun, the Earth tends to get cooler, creating something of a feedback loop. This matters because the Earth's axis isn't stable. Over the span of thousands of years, it moves back and forth, sometimes pointing the polar ice caps more towards the sun, and sometimes pulling them further away. Although this change is only a couple of degrees at most, it is enough that over time it has an impact on the global temperature. The temperature drops as the ice shield faces the sun and rises again as it points away. This fluctuation is one example of the Milankovitch cycle. There are other Milankovitch cycles, which are consistent cycles in the Earth's orbit that affect its temperature, acting on timescales of 23,000, 41,000, 100,000, 405,000, and 2.4 million years. Whenever these coincide with each other, they create even greater changes to the global temperature. You can see the gaps between the ice ages in this graph tend to be about 100,000 years apart, perfectly in line with one of the Milankovitch cycles, specifically the change in the Earth's orbital eccentricity. But all of the cycles have an impact. So where are we in relation to one of these Milankovitch cycles? Let's zoom in some more. As you can see, we have risen out of an ice age and have entered a fairly stable plateau of global temperature. This is consistent with the rapid rise in temperature / slow drop in temperature that characterizes ice ages and the periods between them. All of human history, from the pyramids to the present day, can be found on this plateau. Although humans existed before this point, they hadn't really got the hang of building any civilizations. Scientists have named this plateau where human history began the Holocene period. However, the uptick right at the end is not so usual. This uptick represents a rise in the global temperature by 1 degree, which technically is still roughly on par with the interglacial period before our current one over 100,000 years ago. However, it is not the temperature change that is concerning about this uptick, it is how quickly it is rising. Unlike all the other changes on all these graphs, which have taken place over hundreds of millions of years at the longest and thousands of years at the shortest, this rise took place in 100 years. This could have a big impact on the ecosystems on the planet. So, what could have caused this uptick? The answer cannot be Milankovitch cycles. As you have seen, these cycles take place on the scale of thousands of years at least, and millions at most. Even when we zoom in on sections of our graph where there appear to be sharp upticks, we realize that these rises take place over a couple of 1,000-year periods. Milankovitch cycles are described as weak but consistent forces, like the trickle of a stream that eventually erodes a mountain. They do not create effects over such a small time frame as 100 years. Similarly, there has been no cataclysmic event such as the one that wiped out the dinosaurs, which might be our other explanation. That meteor was thought to be 10 kilometers wide and struck with a force of 21 to 921 billion Hiroshima A-bombs. About 75% of species died in the climate change that happened in its aftermath. If something like that had hit Earth since 1850, we would have noticed it. However, there is one factor that does explain this change in global temperatures: the activity of humans. It is not the first time that living organisms have had an impact on the global temperature. Remember, it is believed that some of the changes we see here are caused by the introduction of plant life absorbing CO2 and releasing oxygen. Similarly, back when life was still all single-celled organisms about 2.4 billion years ago, the arrival for the first time of cyanobacteria that could photosynthesize had a massive impact on the atmosphere. For the first time, an organism started putting oxygen into the atmosphere. This occurred at such a rate there was an event known as the Great Oxidation Event, which coincided with a significant drop in the global temperature. Some scientists believe the entire world almost froze entirely over, as there is evidence of glacial activity at the equator, a snowball Earth as it came to be known. What we learn from this is that the balance of global temperatures is very delicate. A single species that starts to change the atmospheric ratio of gases can have a massive impact, overloading the subtler effects of Milankovitch cycles. And since 1850, humans have definitely changed the way we have been interacting with the atmosphere. Unlike the previous roughly 10,000 years of human history, since 1760 and the Industrial Revolution, human activity has produced vast amounts of greenhouse gases as a waste product of industrialization and farming. In the last 4 decades, each decade has been the hottest decade on record since we started tracking global temperatures in 1850. CO2 levels are now at a global average of 410 parts per million, and methane at 1,866 parts per billion, which is higher than we have seen in the last 800,000 years, which means since before about 8 ice ages and interglacial periods between them. And importantly, the global cover of surface ice has been retreating consistently since 1950, something scientists do not believe to have happened for the last 2,000 years. As you will recall, this has a knock-on effect on Milankovitch cycles, as a planet with less surface ice does not reflect as much heat from the sun, so tends to get even hotter. Like pushing a cart down a hill, these changes have a certain amount of momentum to them. And sadly, rapid changes in global temperature tends to lead to species going extinct. It normally takes thousands of years for life to adapt to the conditions you might find during an ice age, woolly mammoths, to conditions today, elephants. Natural selection takes time to develop in a species the traits they need to thrive in a new environment. If species are not given this time, they either have to move to a new environment better suited to them, or they will die out. As the habitable zones begin to migrate towards the poles, some zones will vanish completely, while new, hot desert environments will be created that life in general is poorly adapted to. It's important to note that these events are not unstoppable. Global temperature change does have some momentum, but if we as humans find ways to stop changing the atmosphere's ratio, then in time, Milankovitch cycles will take over again and the rise will stop. That's why it's so important for governments to listen to reports by institutions like the IPCC, an international group of scientists funded by multiple governments tasked with finding out the realities of climate change, who in 2021 released their 6th assessment report explaining the physical science basis. In it, they stated that it is unequivocal that human influence has warmed the atmosphere, ocean, and land. However, they also offered suggestions, namely the importance of halting or rapidly reducing CO2 emissions towards net zero, as CO2 is the largest contributor towards climate change, followed by methane. They also recommended the development of carbon dioxide removal facilities to be established worldwide. Some of these are already in operation, such as Project Longship in Norway. Their aim is to take CO2 out of the atmosphere and bury it beneath the ground in depleted fossil fuel reservoirs. The IPCC says that actions like this, if widespread, spread enough, will reduce global surface temperature and even reverse certain other processes like acidification of the oceans. Personally, I'm not super convinced by current carbon capture projects, but they do exist. But these efforts need to be done on a large-scale government level. Ultimately, my aim for this video was to examine what global warming meant within the context of Earth's wider history. From it, we can see that it's not actually accurate to say that we're the hottest we've ever been. And I find that a really fascinating insight. However, that fact alone is not the reason some people think it is to not worry about the problem. Climate change is a process that usually takes millennia. I've realized the worrying part is not necessarily the change itself, but rather the speed at which it is happening. Some life forms might get left behind. And how will humanity cope? We don't know, as we haven't been around long enough to deal with the extremes of the past. While human activity has sped up certain elements, and while we can undo some of what has been done through our actions now, some things, like higher sea levels, will be with us for up to 1,000 years. According to the latest IPCC report, we are past the point of no return for 1.5 degrees Celsius and will need to make rapid, fundamental changes to our society this decade to stop it going any further than that. This will be hard. There's no way we as a species will be able to achieve this hard path unless we can agree on the facts that underpin it though. Without the broader context of agreed upon data, it will forever be perfectly possible to arrive at a wide range of conclusions and different paths we should take. That is why, when it comes to any discussion, context is so important. By looking at the pattern of our planet's history, we see that the current uptick in global temperatures is an induced event that doesn't match already existing patterns, and it perfectly coincides with human activity. Debate what you want to do with that information and the best path to take in light of it, but these are the facts, set in ice and the bones of organisms long dead. They will brook no argument. Dealing with all the crises that the world seems to throw at you daily can get a little overwhelming. Sometimes it's important to take care of yourself. That's why today's video is in paid partnership with BetterHelp. Mental health is a cause that is deeply important to me, and I've seen that when someone is struggling, it can be hard to seek help sometimes. But having someone to talk to, even if it's just to get things off your chest, can be hugely beneficial. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and they've made it their mission to increase accessibility to that vital service for everyone. Their online platform can get you registered with a credentialed therapist that's right for you in just a few days, giving you access to a wealth of experience as well as that vital listening ear. It's 100% online and remote, meaning you can call your therapist or send messages if that's easier. And if you find the one you're with isn't right for you, you can switch at no additional cost. I think therapy is something everyone can benefit from, and there are countless stories of people who have seen BetterHelp service improve their mental well-being. If BetterHelp is something that you feel could help you, why not support the channel and click my link in the description below, betterhelp.com/Astrum, for a 10% discount off your first month. I highly recommend it. Thanks for watching. Want to learn more about some of the cycles Earth goes through? Check out this playlist here. A big thanks to my patrons and members. If you want to support what I'm doing and have your name added to this list, check the links below. All the best, and see you next time.
Hello fellow engineers and welcome to Hex World. Now this game is what you get if you get those weird little mobile games where you've got to have more troops than the others to take them over. And you combine that with the bestagon, the hexagon. So basically you start on this little island, you have a castle, you have some troops dotted about as well. And basically you can move this island about. Look at us go! Now if we zoom out you'll see there are islands dotted around that we can sort of go and claim as our own. So if we head over to this one and just sort of like pop into there, that's now formed part of our island. And basically you get different buildings and they require different tiles around them to do well. So you can see our castle is full health. That's because it's surrounded by 3 green tiles. This video is sponsored by Ridge Wallet. If you've ever considered getting a Ridge Wallet, now is the best time, as you could win this, a brand new Hennessy Bronco Velociraptor. Ridge Wallets hold up to 12 cards plus cash and are made from RFID blocking materials. They come with a lifetime warranty, and you can get a matching key case that prevents that annoying key jingle. Silence. And this month you can enter before September 30th to win the Hennessy or $75,000 in cash for completely free on their website. For every dollar you spend at Ridge, you get a bonus entry with the custom Hennessy products coming with up to 1,000 entries. Plus, if you use my link ridge.com/engineer and use code engineer, not only will you get 10% off your order, but you also get a bonus 10 entries. Now really is the best time to get a Ridge Wallet, as this is the last chance to enter the sweepstakes. Thanks for sponsoring. Anyway, if we head down here, look, there is an enemy island, so we can sort of ram this with our castle, and then boosh, we are now battling engineers versus architects. We've taken down most of their troops, and now we are taking down their barrack, and we will gain that ourselves. So once we've done the damage, you can see it's now got a white roof because it's neutral. Once we've whacked it with swords, then yes, the building has a blue roof. It now belongs to us, which means we now own this barrack, so we get more troops. So now our island continues floating around until we can see, aha, down here, there's another island just waiting for something to happen. Now what I can do, I can actually say, melee troops, go over to there, and look, they're all on this end ready, waiting. So I can then just charge my island, boosh, into it. And then there is the battle of battles. And oh, it looks like, is that another barrack? Yes. Okay, we got a victory. So we now proceed to this screen where we get to, like, we can move these around. So we can sort of make our island any shape we want. So whilst you might think that's probably the most efficient thing to do in this situation. sorry. We need to remember that these want to be surrounded. You can see the bars on these, they're not very high. So if we click on the castle, this wants to be surrounded by 8 life essences. So if we click on a grass field, each one provides 2. So you probably want to shove grass around the castle. You can see that bar's now gone up. And then also the barracks, they also want to be surrounded by the life essence as well. So you'd think, well, yeah, I'll just surround everything. So we end up like that. Full bars all around. Nice, we've done it, right? Oh no, this weird one-eyed cat. But this cat has given us requirements. So we can only have 5 hexagons, and we can only have 2 different structures. And one of them has to be our castle. So we're going to have to get rid of a lot of these. So this yellowy bit of land, it's actually better than the field ones, because not only does it give us 2 life essence, it also gives us a radiant essence, and different buildings will require different essences. So let's take this grass field, we'll sell that boost. So now we've just got to sell 3 more to get to our hexagon limit. But it's worth noting, because these are both barracks, we can actually drag them on top of each other and merge. So now we've got a 2-star barrack, which means stronger troops. So I'll just sell a few more. What we've got to sell? 2 more. So like that, and then we're good. We've met all the requirements. This is our new layout. So let's head to the map. You can see we're currently in the top left, so we can only go to this island for now. It's got a threat of 0, so let's head there. Then let's see what we're dealing with. So up that way I can see quite a lot of troops. You've got a barrack, and that is a portal there. So maybe worth going on a bit of a hunt. Yeah, look, down this side, I have found an extra barrack. Nice. So if we just park ourselves in like that, we can now take that barrack, and then we have more troops. Decent. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell all my troops, stick on this lower end, and then we're going to head back up this way, and then my castle should be sort of safe, and my troops are all down this end. So if I head round the back of this, I want to sort of hit them with my troops. And not only that, oh no, I just hit the wall. My grass died. It's now just dirt. Oh, I didn't know this game was going to have actual driving skills required. I'm not going to be very good at this. Anyway, if we hit from there, yes, we got to take down 2 tiles at once, but we're going to be taking down this portal. And this portal cannot be captured. We need to destroy it because it continuously spawns troops. So you can see the bar for that is going down. The quicker we can do it, the better. Right, so that is captured. We've got their barrack as well. So leaving the troops down this end, let's go see what else is on this map. Oh, I've sort of made like England. If you spin that around, that's Scotland up there, southeast, southwest. Nice. Right, okay. Okay. Let's just hold fire there a second. What are we dealing with here? So they are bone archers. Produces crossbowers. Sorry, I am a child. Deadly ranged units. Okay, so these use death essence. Crossbowers. They deal poison damage. So yeah, with these, probably just want to attack like as soon as possible. Yeah, because look, they're doing range attacks. Get in there fast. Okay, so we've taken down the archers. Now taking down the building. We've achieved victory. So let's have a little play. You can see we've got 15 tiles. We've got to get rid of 10, and we've got 5 structures. We can only have 2. So I think first things first, these are all like normal barracks, aren't they? So I can combine those 2. They're the 2 I picked up this time. And then these are both 2-star barracks. Can I combine them? Yes, we can. We have a 3-star barrack, so that is beautiful. We still have one too many structure though. Should I get rid of the crossbones? I mean, this dirt does produce the old death essence. Yeah, maybe I'll get rid of that for now. It's worth noting down here, I've just unlocked the Mage Guild. So if we head into there, we can spend our gold on various upgrades. We can increase the number of structures we have, which is currently 2 by 1. Same with tiles. I mean, I could do the tiles straight away. Yeah, let's do that. Do that again, then that's all of our gold. We've only got 1 remaining. There's also a shop, but we can't afford any of that. We need loads of gold, basically. So back to the drawing board. Let's sell the crossboners. We get 8 gold from that. And then sell the rocks, sell the dirt. And then we're down to the 7 tiles. So I just rearrange them so that everything's touching like that. Both of those are maxed out, which means from this point we're good to head to 2 different places. Now this island has a threat level of 4. The one up there, threat level of 2. So let's go there first. Then what are we dealing with? We've got enemies up there. We've got, just a little tour down there. Tell you what then, troops, go on to that one. Then I'll head down this way and we're just going to ram in full speed. Sod it. Boosh. Okay, so taking down the troops. We are getting their barracks decent.
It is decent! Tell them, lad, it's decent! It's decent!
We have their barracks now, so we have even more troops. Let's move my troops up to that corner. Well, actually, first, let's head down. What have we got down here? Ooh, we have new biomes. We've got the firwood. That has 3 life essence rather than the 2. And then next to it, a meadow, which has 4. Okay, so they're going to be replacing the fields we have, probably. If we head over this way, right, we've got those enemies. Oh, they're archers. They're archers. They just took down. Ow. Ow. Knobheads. Right, okay, troops. You go stand there. We're gonna go take down the portal first. So let's ram this thing. Boosh. Right, take down the portal. Take down the portal. Come on, guys, I believe in you. Yes, the portal's down. So now they can't spawn any more troops. We've taken down the barrack. Ooh, they're not barracks. It's an archery place. So that now belongs to us, which means we now have some archers. So down here I can control all my golems, the melee ones, or the ranged ones. So what I can do is sort of say, alright, melee troops there, ranged ones, you stay back a bit. Then if I attack from like up here, we've got the melee ones here, we've got the ranged ones at the back, safety first. So let's head, where was it, up this way? Oh yeah, up in the top right. So let's scope this out. Oh no, they've got bees! Not the bees! Not the bees!
Not the bees!
Okay, so while they're spawning bees, we've just got to get in there. Yes, we've achieved victory, and we've now got a bee's nest. Do I want bees? I quite like the sound of bees. Anyway, we've got 26 gold. We can't merge our barracks because it's not like the right level. You can only merge the same star together, so I've got to get this one up to 3-star if I want to merge and get a 4-star. So what I'm thinking, we've just unlocked in the top left storage. So I can grab these barracks, I can shove them in the storage, and then in the future I'll have those to play with. I might put the bees up there as well. So yeah, I've gone in the shop. I think I might actually build another structures capacity, because then I can have either the bees or the archers. Let's get some bees. I like the sort of bees. Then we'll just delete all these excess ones. So, I can only have 7 hexagons. Okay, well that's the layout I've gone for. My barracks and bees, they're not fully essenced up. That one's 61%, this one's 65%, but my castle is at 100%, so I think we're good. So let's head back and we'll go to this one. The corny mistake is a threat 4. I reckon with my bees and my barracks, we should be fine. Oh man, look at this world. Okay, so we're just surrounded. So it's basically going to be... we're being stung by bees. Run away. I was meant to have the bees, not them. All right, well, let's get our troops in like that. All right, we're actually being destroyed by bees. This is not good. I think if we head over this way, yeah, there's bees here. So if we just join onto this one, boosh, we can go take down their bee. Oh no, their bees are destroying my... Wait, guys, come back. Defend. No, they're taking it over. They're getting a beehive on my island. Take down the bees. Take down the bees. Okay, we're good. We're good. Can my troops actually not attack the bees? Oh, they literally can't. I mean, thankfully, we do have a beehive up here. And, oh, we've just about saved ourselves. That was terrifying. Right, anyway, all troops go to this end. You can see over here, we've got some barracks. Oh, I do actually want some barracks, don't I? So I want to merge those. So let's boosh, ram into that. We will take them down with our own bees. We've gained their barracks. Oh, we're being attacked by bees again. Not ideal. All right, let's outrun the bees. And then we're coming in this side, coming in hot. I think we're just going to try and go like down the middle. Oh, they're archer towers. Sentry tower. Oh, that's cool. They get destroyed though, so we don't actually get to keep them. But yeah, we gotta take down the golem portal, and we gotta take down the bee's nest as well. All right, focus on the bee's nest. Focus on the bees. I mean, look at them. They're like biting bees. They weren't stinging bees. Anyway, we're now back. We've got 23 hexagons. Yeah, so I think first things first. Let's grab the other barrack from our storage. We can then merge them together. So that's a 2-star barrack. I can then shove that back in storage. That is decent. I can then merge, yeah, bees together. I've got extra bees. I might shove bees up there for now in our storage. And, oh, I didn't realize that. I got to keep one of those sentry towers. Thing is, I can only have 4 structures at the moment. So let's just go. Can we buy an upgrade for more structures? I need 50 gold. So I'm probably going to sell all the dirt. So we'll do that straight away. Do I want these rocks? Nah, let's sell them. They're worth quite a bit. Then just sell a lot of these. Then, yeah, we're up to 52 gold. So in the shop, we can add another structure. Nice. And then I've just got to sell a few more of these. I'm thinking, though, if we get down to there, yes, I have too many tiles, but I've got 14 gold now. So can I go back into here and unlock more tiles? I've got up to 8. I don't have enough gold for 9. So let's just sell one of those, and then we're all good. So if we head up this way, these two are in range. That's a threat 4. That's a threat 6. So let's go do threat 4 first. So what are we dealing with here are more bees. Flame cannons? That doesn't seem ideal. So we've got, oh look, on the outside there's like some random ones. So just to make our island bigger. And then we've got over the left side, oh, some barracks. I'll have some of that. And then more bees on the top. I think I probably wanna do these flame towers last. Okay, let's shove everyone there. And then take out these guys first. Actually, maybe I'll go down first. I'll tell you what, I have a plan. I've engineered a plan. So we'll come around this side. I feel like I'm in space. I'm like docking spacecraft. We'll do that. Shove our troops there. And then I'll try and make like a really long arm so those flame towers can't get us too much. Okay, anyway, let's ram into this barracks. Boosh. And we do a bit of attacking. And then the barrack is now ours. I can move my troops to that end. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to get to the bees like this. All right, the bees are attacking us, but I'm going to have to go like the scenic route around this. And then slow down, slow down, slow down. Go left, go left, go left. No, don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. Ah! It's like controlling a ship. All right, anyway, yeah, we want to dock there. Boosh. And then attack. Go on, troops. Took down the tower. We're taking down the bees. Oh, where did they all spawn from? Where did they come from? Doesn't matter. I'm way stronger than they are. All right, so now all of our troops are on the left end. All of our buildings are on the right. So I'm gonna go round the top of this map. This cave's bizarre. Oh no! Invisible wall. Ow! Was there an invisible wall? Yeah, there is. Oh no! So I can't go around the top there. Can I squeeze down? We'll try and squeeze. Oh no! Oh, did you see that? I just lost a tile as well. I tried to squeeze in, and unfortunately, I've made a bridge. And you know what that means? We need a bridge review. A hexagonal land bridge with a castle at one end, my troops and bees at the other. It spans a gap that has no purpose because there's no one on either of those islands. But it's made from hexagons, which are the bestigons. So overall, I give this bridge a 3.9 out of 10. Bridge review. All right. So anyway, we've got a. I think I've made my island too big, haven't I? I'm not going to be able to get down anywhere. Can I go round up here? Or is it just going to launch me into a cliff again? No, we're good. We're good. We're sneaking around. Okay, full speed, power. And let's just see. Can I go down the bottom? I would like to go down the bottom to avoid the flamethrowers. Yes, no invisible wall down here. Okay, so I want to go get these islands first. Oh no, the flames! The flames! Incoming! Incoming! Alright, I have dodged out the way. It's fine. Oh no, invisible wall again. No, 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 don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. Oh, I'm not liking the invisible walls. I wanted to, like, make my island really long. I can't go past it. It's pushed me back. All right, fine. We'll just dock these anywhere then. Docked, and then we'll go attack. Right, they're firing they're firing flames. Oh no, that wiped my troops. That is not good. All right, anyway, we're docked. We're docked. Go take him down. Go take him down. Okay, we took out one flame turret. That one can't see us. I think it can only, yeah, it can only see forward. So thankfully, we have taken that out. And is that a victory? Oh no, look, there's an island down there. Full power. I feel like Clarkson. Boosh. Okay, so that's cool. That's another 2 barracks. So I might be able to get my level barrack up. All right, so nice. That's taken. That's a victory. Let's go have a look. I'm excited by the prospect of increasing my barracks again. So yeah, these are the 2 level 1 barracks. So we can merge those together. I can then get out my storage, my other level 2, and merge those. So then we've got a level 3 combined with our level 3 over here. Oh boy, we've just made the battle barracks. Oh, annoyingly though, look. They need metal. That was the rocks, and I got rid of the rocks last time. Ah, idiot. Let's just check all these tiles, make sure we don't have any of those. Oh, we actually don't. No, that's quite annoying. All right, anyway, we do have some bees we can merge, and then we can merge those bees. So we've got a bee nest. Restart. And so do these barracks do nothing? Oh no, this is a disaster. I didn't realize. Okay, well, we've got to sell lots of these, which means we're going to get quite a lot of gold. That means we can go to the shop, and I don't know what to upgrade really. I got 53 gold. Let's increase our number of tiles. Maybe the castle HP might be worth doing. It's 25% increase. I think that's good. Oh, look, this is how I get those towers. Flame towers, frost towers. They're pretty pricey though, 150 gold. Right, I feel like if my barracks are useless, I should probably just shove them up there. All right, and then we're sort of going in with just the bees at the moment. I do have some archers. I don't think they're going to do a lot though. Can't believe I messed this up, right? Threat level 5 and another 6. So let's take down threat level 5. I reckon we got it. So here we are. We just got to... being attacked by bees. We are being attacked by bees. Right, loads of hexes down here. So let's just grab them. More hexes down the bottom as well. Shall we go grab those? Why not? So we'll have them. Thank you very much. All right, then enemy troops all go to there. And I think we're going to go take down this one up here. Yeah, it's just bees. It's just a few bees. So troops, battle formations. They've got stingers. They've got wings, but they don't have your spirit. Come on. Boosh. Yes, we've taken it. Okay, we've got the bees. We have the bees. So what do we want to attack now? Oh man, what is up there? We've got flame towers, but oh look, they're both looking the opposite way. They have chakram house nomads though. They're pretty strong apparently. There's also a portal there as well. Still, I reckon if we grab all of our troops, shove them there, if we attack from this side, the flame towers won't hurt us. Right, so ready everyone? Charge! Charge! Oh, that's it, archers. Oh no, they've got range as well. Yeah, we just got to get in. Get our troops involved. Oh, look how many archers came out. Oh no, I'm scared. I'm scared. All right, this is a proper battle. Oh no, they're doing so well. We do have more troops coming from our castle though. I think we're okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. Take down the flame turrets. And then, yes, we have won. Look, now we've got some of those guys as well. Okay, so if we head down, we've got more bees. They're not controlled by anyone, so that's just bees for us. So we can completely just go boosh into that. And then, what have we got down here? We've got, okay, just a load of turrets. Let's bring all my troops this way before we get too close. Make sure we capture the bees. Yes, we have. Okay, so now, let's put our hexagon in that hexagon hole. Boosh. All right, that's it, lads. That's it, lads. Oh, they just peppered us. Just rained arrows down on us. There must be like a special move you can do. Right, anyway, we are taking down over there heavy ballista. So probably worth scooting around the outside of that. Unless the invisible wall gets us again. No, we're good. We've gone around this side. I'm just going to move my troops onto like this arm. So you can see they're all up here ready. So let's ram this thing. Die, architects. Boosh. Oh, I love how fast you can ram. And then it just sends like the entire island flying. All right, that is a victory. Look how many tiles we have to play with now. So in that round, we got 2 of these chakram stuff. Let's merge those together. I don't think... Did we get any tiles? No, we didn't get any with the metal on. Oh, I can't believe I binned that earlier. But yeah, worth noting these chakram houses, they require the radiant essence, which we mostly get from like deserty stuff. So I think savannas are probably a good mix. Because with those you still get some of the life essence which the rest of my castle needs. Right, can I merge these towers? Oh, I can. Oh, look at that. It's a stone tower now. Guard tower. got more bees I can merge. Shove those on top of each other. We got level 2 bees. Oh, there's a level 1 bee as well. I think all the bees may have to just go into storage for a little bit until I can get level 4 bees. Yeah, I think I'll sell the barracks. I might sell the archers as well. Yeah, they're only level 1. And then it's a case of just selling a load of these. And actually, that's giving me loads of money. Is there anything in the shop I could do? The summon tower. I don't think that's worth it, to be honest. I should probably just let's get an extra structure. Sounds good. Maybe an extra tile as well. Because then I can take out an extra structure up here. I think level 2 bees is the way to go. Just got to sell 10 tiles. Okay, so I think we're good. Yep. All needs met. Cat is happy, probably. So we'll do threat level 5 first. So basically, just always go get like these little islands. Now, you don't really have to do them first, just as long as you get them before you complete the mission, because that's basically like your money for each round. So we will be selling most of them afterwards. Let's get a good connection. Yeah, that was good. All right, so then what do we have down here? We've got a Crackham house and a sentry tower. Yeah, we'll take them down. I've got my troops down here. My sentry turret is there as well. Oh, that's got quite a big range, actually. Tell you what, we can snipe them. Look at this. Ha 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 ha. They are respawning though, so I should probably just ram it. Boosh. Oh, they keep raining down arrows on me. I don't know how they're doing that. Anyway, that is good. Let's move everyone to here. I should probably just take down these while I'm here. I don't think they're too much of a threat. So a little bit of a battle. Oops, you can see the cracks on there. I just cracked into the cliff. My bad. What is that? Oh, that's a dagger house. Okay, we'll head down this way. Take these on. Oh, that's just another barrack. I can probably sell that, to be honest. Until I can find like a metal thing. These are barracks that we've fully maxed out. That's annoying. So we'll pick up those tiles and then we'll head up here where there's 2 towers, portal, and bees. So incoming. Boosh. Right, focus on the portal. Focus on the portal. I think when the portal's down, we're done. And we keep that turret decent. Okay, still no metal. So the battle barracks are still stuck up there. We did get bees though, so let's get my bees out of storage, combine those 2 together. They're level 2. Combine that level 2 with that level 2, and then these 2 level 3s, and hope I don't ruin everything. It's a wasp nest. Oh yes, they just need life essence. So we're good. We've got killer wasps working for us now. Yeah, I can merge. Yeah, we got 2 chakram houses. So merge them together and then merge the 2 level 2s. That is a level 3 chakram house. And then sell the barracks. Dagger house. I think we're going to sell it. Actually, no, I'll keep it. Shove it in there. And then it's just a case of selling everything else. And then, oh yeah, in the shop, that's how you get the arrow shower. I think it uses 10 mana though. I think I have 50 per round. So yeah, I'm not too fussed with them. I prefer like the permanent upgrades. Ooh, castle units level. Yeah, may as well make them stronger. All right, then we're good to try and take this place down. Are there any... Still no mountains here. So annoying. Anyway, I'm feeling pretty brave / stupid. So let's just go straight in and take all these down. Be easy, mate. All right, time to get me some more bees. In we go. Boosh. Now, my wasps are like... They've actually got stingers this time. Oh, they got like scary mouths and stuff. Oh, look down here. Blacksmith. This building would provide damage reduction for my... I imagine that means they take more hits rather than they do less damage. Cost of speed and attack rate. Okay, that's cool. I'll take that. A booster building. Then we'll head down here. I'll say take down the portal. Come on, guys. Oh man, the arrow wave rinses us. Thankfully, we're all good. We've got some archers. They got 2 flame turrets. I shove all my troops in this forest up here. Come on, guys. There they go. Then we can attack from this side. So, right, take down the barracks, and then that is a victory. And then we got all of this to deal with. Anyway, if I want to keep that blacksmith, I need to upgrade the number of structures I can have, which means I need 100 gold. So I've taken everything out of storage, sold it, sold all the grass that I don't want. All right, there we go. 12 tiles. We got the 100 gold we need. We give structures a buy. And this is our new layout. We've still got the barracks in there that I can't use yet. I mean, to be fair, have I tried? Can I use it? Let's actually see first. Are there going to be troops produced here? One of your buildings is not working due to missing resort. Oh, no. So, yeah, that was a waste. That produces nothing. Brilliant. And annoyingly, no metal ores. Oh, why didn't I know it was rare? All right, let's go back to the hub. No point doing this one with those. So we'll swap that and that. We'll squeeze ourselves through this gap. Yeah, we're good. Because These have flame turrets. I'm attacking from this edge though. Oh, don't get flamed, don't get flamed. There we go, there we go. So let's sneak in there, go take out the bees, then take out both those turrets. Nice. That means I can head over this way. I know we've taken those down. I still fit through this gap. Oh, it's tight, it's tight. Don't hit the top edge. That's my castle. All right, so then little suspecting island, and then boosh, we ram it. And then go boosh, ram this as well. All right, and then this is the final one. Take out the portal, and then take out the bees. No, not the turrets. I wanted to keep the turrets. Ah, you silly boys. And then we're left with that mess to deal with. Anyway, guys, this is a lot of fun, this game. If you enjoyed, please show a like button. Now I'll say peace, love, and not the bees. Bye.
Can't release this game! It's broken! Haven't played for 3 turns!
This is like a 3rd edition.
Bruno! You fixed this problem, Bruno! It's on you!
Hello, I'm Adam from No Rolls Barred, and welcome to Board Game Club, where the first rule of Board Game Club is never attribute to stupidity that which can be adequately explained by malice. Every week we gather a group of our friends here at Draft's Board Game Cafe in London to play a game to show you how much fun board gaming can be. This week we are playing Citadels, designed by Bruno Faiduti and published by Windrider Games. This game is set in the past. You can tell because there's a king, weird hats. They wouldn't have kings today. The aim of the game is to build the most impressive city. To do that, you'll earn money, then you'll spend that money to pay for district cards. The game ends when one player has built 7 district cards, and players will get points equal to how much all of those districts cost if they build any sets of districts, and also if they achieve any other special scoring conditions. So far, pretty simple. Earn money, spend money, have the best thing at the end of the game. But here's a twist to make Citadel very interesting and very mean. See, each round the players will be choosing a character to be, numbered 1 to 8. Starting with the king character, players will look at these characters and secretly pick one. Then they will pass the rest to their neighbors, who will also pick one, keep picking until everyone has a character. Now we're going to explain what each of these characters do as they come up in the game, but what you need to know is they mostly exist for players to dick each other over. Fun. And that's it. Characters will be waking up in turn order depending on which character they chose, with the 1 character waking up first, the 8th character waking up last. They'll be taking their turn, they'll be screwing each other over, and we'll just try and see who's got the best city at the end of it. Who will be the king of the castle? Who will be the dirty rascal? Find out as we play Citadels. Joining me for the stacked edition of Board Game Club, I'm joined by John.
Hello.
Blair.
Hello.
Sully.
Hello.
Carly.
Hi.
Rosie.
Hello.
And Laurie's here. Citadello.
Yes.
Excellent.
Oh, very
I'm
good.
sorry I spoke over it. Would you like?
I'll do it again.
Do it again. Do it again.
Say my name. Start from me.
All right. Hi, John.
Hi.
Blair.
Hello.
Sully.
Hello.
Rosie.
Citadello.
Yeah.
These are cyanide, right?
Find out. Probably at least mildly toxic.
Yeah.
We're playing Citadels, a game all about different characters in a fantasy kingdom trying to build districts in their city. We will have in play the standard 8 characters: assassin, thief, magician, king, bishop, merchant, architect, and warlord, and we'll explain what each of them do the first time that you see them. Everyone starts with 2 guns. The first round begins now. The oldest player is the one who starts with the king's crown.
Fuck me, I didn't know that was going to be the case.
Congratulations.
Oh, shut up, you're like 10. You're 10. I don't know know how old the rest of you are. You're like 12. Hate it. Absolutely hate it.
Come on, old John.
Oh, where am I? What's this? I'm the king. Ageist bullshit.
You get to go first.
Yeah.
He needs
That's why
the
the
advantage
society's
because he's
broken.
slow.
I'm
okay, it's okay.
Fuck, I'm the boomer in this game. I've got all the property.
You damn kids.
We're not allowed to go until you announce our turns.
Oh, good. This will be a long video.
Here are the 8 characters. You shuffle these, and you discard 1 face down.
And so I'm the king for this first round.
You are the king until maybe someone else claims the king's character. Because John is going to pick a character, then we'll pass to Laurie. Laurie will pick a character, pass the rest to Rosie. Pick, pass, pick, until it gets to Blair. You'll get given 1 card, but then you get to pick this card and pick 1 of those. So no one will exactly know who everyone has. And then we're going to activate these characters, and players are going to take their turn, not in clockwise order or anti-clockwise, but in order from 1 to 8. The person who picks this, if this is picked, going first. And if someone picks the king, they will become the new king and the next player. Next first player of the round.
Nailed it.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's a name.
You gonna be
Blah,
yes?
blah,
Yes.
blah.
It's
Yes.
blah.
Hello. Yes.
Rosie, stop it.
I want to know what he's going to be. I want to cheat.
Tell me. Tell Rosie.
Daddy.
Oh, no. Oh, that's a flagrant disregard for the comment section there, Rosie.
I was wearing a dad hat this entire time.
Wait, didn't we talk about the dad hat off air?
Yeah, we did not talk about
That makes no sense. They don't know about Blair's kids.
Oh, this little bit. Go away.
As far as the audience knows,
It's a daddy hat. It's a very different
Yes,
hat.
it's a daddy hat.
It's a daddy hat.
Right, who shall I be?
Tell us all.
Let us know.
Oh, not that one.
That's a terrible one.
Oh, bad move.
Oh, Rosie.
No, Rosie.
No,
No,
Rosie.
not that one.
Oh, that's a rookie error.
I'll go for that one.
Yeah, good choice.
If you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Fucking get her.
A lot of the rules get money based on the color, like based on the type of district they have.
Yeah.
And notably, you can trigger that ability before or after you build. So if you have a color card in your hand and you can afford to build something this turn, then sometimes choosing that way
Wish
can
I'd
be
known
helpful.
that before.
Sorry.
Part of shit character.
But yeah, most of your character abilities can be used at any time unless specified otherwise. So they can be used right at the end of your turn, should you wish. Oh.
Oh no, Rosie, what's that one?
Yeah. So you can. Can you take? You can take gold and then build and then use your character ability. You can do that in
Yep.
order.
Yep.
Ah.
Yep.
I thought you had to use your character ability when we did.
No.
Interesting.
You can your character ability on your card.
Yep.
You can use it at any point during your turn, not necessarily right at the beginning, unless it specifies otherwise.
Okay.
Let's have a little look, see.
So it can be good to wait, but you can only do it once, so you can pick up beforehand.
All right, so let's have a little.
Adam's drawn. Agreed.
What to do? I'm going to do that one. Those are for you, best friend.
Ooh. Oh yeah, I'll go for this one.
And so Blair,
For you.
this one that was discarded by John at random, you now get to choose between those twos.
Interesting.
I'm the only one wearing a Christmas jumper. Loser.
I know. I
You want me to put one on?
We did bring a spare one for you, but then we would literally just be the weird little Christmas
I'll
jumper
do it.
section.
I like Spidey Christmas.
I mean, Rosie could wear it. I mean, she's not in the most
Rosie's in a
Christmassy
fabulous
thing.
shirt. We like Rosie's
Oh, that's pretty
shirt.
Christmassy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Right, we've all got a character now, which means it's time to activate them. Not starting with John, but instead starting, well, John, as the king, my liege. Until you are deposed by a new king, it's your job to...
Good luck deposing me. I'm not going down without a fight.
I'll
kill all of you.
Claw marks in his
I'll
throat.
ruin this country as long as I stay in power.
Oh, he's the Mad King.
Yeah. So you announce the first player.
Do we have an assassin?
We do.
Oh, who are you going to kill?
So if you could pop
Oh,
there.
yeah, we do.
Hope it's not the king.
No, I'm not going to kill the king this turn. I am going to kill a character, which means they'll lose their turn. They'll still be their person, but they'll lose their turn. And I'm going to kill the merchant.
Oh, fucking shit!
I wonder who that is. Okay. So you don't have to announce who it is now.
Oh, I'm not the merchant. I'm just annoyed because Blair's the merchant.
Damn it!
How could you do it to
lost
poor
my
sweet?
turn.
Thanks, Blair.
So I'm gonna take my turn.
Imagine if this was a bluff, though. Imagine if it was
Why
a bluff.
would you bluff about that?
Imagine.
So,
The
yeah.
merchant
I've
is a
never
very
played this game
powerful ability, and I didn't want to do this.
So the assassin doesn't call a player because that would be a little too mean. Instead, the character, that character, when revealed, will skip their turn. Carly's now progressing with the rest of her turn, which is gathering resources, which takes two forms. You either take 2 gold, or you take 2 cards, pick one, and discard the other one to the bottom of the deck. And then after you've gathered resources, you can choose to build one of your districts from your hand if you can afford it. You don't have to build, you can just save up money for a future turn, but you can build. And also, that's it. And also, that's it. And also, that's it.
That's it. That's been our episode.
I'm going
See you next time.
I'm going to play the manor for 3. So it's all about.
Nice. That is how much that card is going to be worth at the end of the game. Once someone has built 7 districts, that will be the final round. And yeah, that will be worth 3 points at the end of the game. And there are other scoring things, but we'll get into that when we get there. My liege, you may die at some point, but you're currently still the current king, so please do call for the...
Any chance to switch these 2 cards? Just out of interest. Just asking for Blair.
Just asking for Blair.
Blair's about to die,
I'm really sad I've lost my turn.
Good acting, Blair. I mean, good work, Blair.
Please call for the next character.
Yes, I'm a thief.
So the thief will now call a character that they wish to rob. If that character is around the table, when they are revealed, not now, when they're revealed, you get to steal all their money.
Hooray!
Huzzah!
I'm gonna steal from the king.
Interesting.
Steal from the merchant. The dead merchant. Oh, he's not going to use it, he's dead.
Stick that boot in.
Yeah, you can't thieve from the assassin, and you also can't thieve from the character that the assassin has assassinated.
Oh, okay.
So the king,
Wouldn't have been able to.
absolutely fine. And now you take the rest of your turn.
Great.
You get to be mean, but not that mean.
I'm gonna grab 2 gold. Lovely stuff, and I'm gonna build a trading post.
Oh,
Delightful.
yes.
Oh, bloody trading post.
Classic Sally.
That is classic.
He loves trading. And he loves posts. 2 put together. Next is, I call the magician to the court. Do we have a magician? I wish for some tricks.
We do
James.
not.
No magician.
We do not have a
I want some close-up magic. Who's got some?
Oh,
Okay.
that's good. It means I know.
Oh, means I know,
Yeah.
means I know who Blair is. All right.
Yeah, Blair's the merchant.
I know who Blair is.
Yeah,
as well.
the merchant.
Yeah.
I've lost my turn. I'm very
Gosh
upset about
darn it.
And now it's time, because we know that the magician's not in play, because that card must be the magician, otherwise you would reveal it and take a turn, which means it's time to crown a new king.
Potentially, unless you promise. Haha! I am the new king.
Rosie's the king!
Hooray!
Heavy hangs the head, this poisoned chalice. Have fun with it. I hate it.
Jeez.
I hated
Wow.
it.
Go on, give us your dosh.
Yeah, you see? Being the king sucks.
So your character powers are, you take the crown, which you've done, and at any point during your turn, you can gain 1 gold for each of your noble districts. You currently have none, but if you do build a noble district this turn, you can gain an extra gold for it, if you like. But first you have to gather resources, which is either taking money or taking cards.
I would on to cards, please.
Okay. And so you look at these, you take one that you like, and you burn the other.
Oh, great.
Don't be too literal to the rest of the card. Just in case.
And you eat the one that you don't want.
Produces a lighter.
Eat the one you don't want. I think I'm gonna.
Alright. You have no money, so I don't think you can build.
Thank you, Adam.
You're welcome. I mean, I didn't steal from you.
I know.
Alright.
Could have been any one of us.
We'll never know.
Oh, use your character ability.
Yes. We don't have any noble districts, so.
Not yet.
Oh, ho, ho.
Oh!
Yes.
King Rosie, the Assured.
Yep. I know what's happening in this kingdom. All right.
Yeah. New king. Would you
Me.
like to call the next character?
Oh, is there a bishop in town?
Bless you, my child.
I almost killed you.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't
I
kill
really
me.
thought about it.
Carly, should have thought harder.
So I can't have my districts destroyed by the warlord, whomever that might be.
I would never start wars.
No, exactly.
How dare you?
I just finished them. So I'm going to gather my resources. I'm going to take 2 coins. I'm going to spend 2 coins to build a lovely church. Beautiful. I'm going to activate my path to gain 1 gold for each of my religious districts. So I'm going to end with 3 gold. And I really hope the thief doesn't steal from me next round. That's it.
You can always be the thief, then you can't get thief.
I might, you know.
What's next, Rosie?
Do we have a magician in town?
No, we're going up.
The king's mad. Get rid of her.
What was next?
You're looking for number 6.
Oh, sorry, I can't read. Was it merchant? Is there a merchant in town?
There's a merchant.
Oh,
That's what we didn't know, John.
You saw that coming.
Yeah. No, I was the merchant.
You played it so
cool.
I fooled all of you. But it didn't help me because I'm dead, sadly.
Your poker face is just Buster Keaton over here.
Who could possibly know? But yeah, no, I know it's a twist, but I am the merchant. Unfortunately killed by Carly.
Yeah.
Should have killed the bishop. I'm not threatening this game. I'm definitely not going to win.
I thought about it. I won't doubt my gut next time. I'll keep you safe.
It's okay. Jeez. So.
Okay, so I just do nothing.
You do precisely.
Cool, great game. Good design. Good work. Who designed this? Bruno.
Bruno, yeah.
Good work, Bruno.
Bruno
Have a
Playtime.
great time.
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars.
Stick to music, mate. That's what I say.
Is there an architect?
Yeah, there is.
Hello.
Me. I get 2 coins, and I get to gain 2 extra cards anyway.
Yes. So instead of choosing between cards and coins, you get both.
Do I have to
Ton of
pick
cards.
one of these? And
No, they're
do
yours.
it? Both.
And it's super strong. And then you can build up to 3 things. Architect is scared.
It doesn't have a lot of gold to build a lot of expensive things. So we could build a lot of cheap things. That means one of them is very easily gotten rid of by our warlord, whoever that might be.
But you gotta watch the architect at the end of the game because if you can build 3 cheap things and end the game, no one can touch it.
Let's build myself a church.
Yeah. We've got God over here. You can't have God over there.
Oh.
We can't be
God,
in 2 places.
he's everywhere.
Actually, it might be a good time to point out this is okay, but you could not build 2 churches.
Yes.
And you cannot build
You can't build the same exact.
There are duplicates in the game and you can't build the same thing twice. Is there a warlord in town?
Oh, what? How
Boom,
did I get
boom,
there?
boom.
Hi. Okay. So I'm going to first take 2 gold.
Here is your 2 gold.
Thank you. I would then like to destroy. Well, actually, no, I'll build first.
And then destroy your own.
So I'll spend 1, yeah, just to make a watchtower, which gets
that back.
Thank you. And then I will destroy. Who's doing the best? So then you have 4 gold.
You can't destroy Adams because he's got gods.
You can't destroy
It is
my
worth
church.
3. It's just a matter of how
Carly
much money
made
do you
you,
want
the
to spend.
merchant, lose your entire turn.
Yeah,
God
that.
damn it,
I'm
guys.
angry on your
I am
behalf.
so angry
But
at
it would
you.
cost you 2 gold to attack me, whereas
Yeah.
you can attack another player
No,
for
I
1.
think.
Let's be honest. Who's the biggest threat? It's me with my 2 coins and no cards.
I can't destroy
But
anything. You have nothing.
Second biggest threat, I think, is Carly.
You have
Yes, I
nothing.
know, Blair. That was for a joke. Obviously doing absolutely
You don't have to
terribly.
remind him.
Oh my god, you also do not
Oh, wait a
have
second,
to
John.
use your
You
ability.
don't have anything,
You can
mate.
save your own money.
Sorry, also, you're dead, you dumb piece of shit.
Go. What's that called?
Oh no, I was also saying you don't have to spend your money. Sometimes you just want to build up yourself.
Yeah.
Like you never have to use your warlord.
No,
It's
but
interesting that Carly
no,
says
no, no. I'm going to destroy.
Oh,
wow. So you have to spend $1. Yeah.
hot dog.
Why solid that?
Because it's just cheap enough.
I'm not overly
Cheaper.
surprised.
Yeah, because
Adams fires off his power.
he stole my money, didn't he,
You
Blair?
can't, you can't attack Adam.
That's the entire round. All of these cards come back in.
Go to our rightful king.
Who shuffles them, discards 1 face down. There you go.
Rightful king. You Carly, you killed me.
And you were gunning for me.
Because you
In
killed
my
me.
beautiful manner.
I gunned for you because you killed my lovely merchant.
I didn't really want to.
Just stamping out trade in the town.
Exactly.
Don't need
Yeah,
that.
I don't need that. Let's keep this lovely manor that one rich person can live in. Yeah. Let's destroy the economy instead. I think trade's the real problem here, not me having all the money in my massive house.
All right, there we go. Lovely. And now you keep on. Lovely.
Oh, wow.
Decisive.
Right.
I've got.
Okay.
I think we're gonna have an eternal god king.
Couldn't possibly say.
I neither confirm nor deny.
Are we living in the Dune universe? With Rosie becoming an osmosis.
The Juniors.
Yeah, but there's a character that becomes a worm emperor.
I thought the film was quite good.
Really, I really liked it.
Whoa.
Such hot takes.
Hot takes.
Let me know
So virulent.
at Elfakador on Twitter. What do you think of my film opinions?
It's good
They
because
are
no one can
spicy.
spell it, so it's fine.
James?
Fuck off, James.
Fuck on, James. That's what I say.
Fuck on, James.
Fuck on James, everyone.
Fuck on, James.
Fuck on James.
We've got a new sign-off, guys. Fuck on, James.
Fuck on James. What?
Oh, it's good to be back. It's good to be back.
Insult or like is it? I feel like it's a compliment.
Confidence builder.
Yeah.
Fuck on,
man.
Fuck on, man. James, could you?
Oh, is there an assassin, Carly?
Hello.
Oh, I knew he'd take it. I thought about it, but I knew he'd take it. But I didn't.
Sharpen your knives, Governor.
Stabby stab.
That will be the warlord. Warlord can go fuck himself. For this round, the warlord. I'm going to take 2 coins. I'm going to spend all that money on building a town. Spending all my money to make my. Well, I mean, I'm immune to a thief anyway. There we go.
Right. Is there a thief?
There sure is. Shine your cut purse, Governor.
Shine your cup purse, Governor.
Yeah, that's what they do, right? The little cut.
What are you gonna do on your turn, Blair?
Wait, don't
What?
I don't know about John's.
I was trying to make a joke about how you're the thief.
It's a callback. Keep up, Grandad.
Where am I? Oh, I'm really watching my music. I'm going to.
You can't. No, you pick a character. You can't be that mean. That's why you have to try to guess who
Yes.
Sully would pick.
Sully, who are you?
I can't tell you, mate. I'm sorry.
That is a really good
Secret.
wrinkle. I had not
3
anticipated.
for 3?
I'm going to steal from the merchant.
You're a merchant.
If you can just call out loudly that you're the merchant.
To be fair, it's another round.
I'm sorry, I just can't see. It's just like a blur of words.
It's
I can see the
absolutely fine.
M. I can see the M. Was it?
Just remember, magic comes
Oh, it's a
in
bird, isn't it?
threes.
Yeah. Right. What?
3 is a magic number. 3 is a magic number.
No, magic comes in threes. You know, the famous phrase.
It's like wishes and triplets.
That's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
You remember,
Oh,
magic
yeah.
comes in threes.
That magician is 3 years old.
Okay. Is there a 3-year-old magician in town?
1, 2, 3. Wow, wow, wow. Here's my me. I'm going to take 2 coins.
Is that the catchphrase of the magician? 1,
1,
2,
2,
3.
3.
It's me!
He's just learned to count to 3.
Laurie Kazam.
Dada.
Blake Magic.
Magic comes in 3.
Fuck!
Magic comes in free.
I like 3 magics.
3 magic. 3 magic.
So the magician's power is I can either exchange my hand with someone else, or I can discard cards from my hand to gain an equal number.
Yes, and you currently have the most cards, so it doesn't make sense.
Unless someone really eyeing their cards heavy.
Yeah.
Which I will be doing. I'll discard these 2 cards to draw 2 cards.
Hey.
Oh, sorry. Have I had my turn?
You will get your money when it's the merchant's turn.
So if
Wait,
they
did you do?
reveal,
Did you do
No,
the rest of
I-
your
oh,
turn?
you didn't do the rest of your
you
turn.
still get to do your turn.
Yeah, you
Josh.
do it for your turn.
This actually happens a lot in Citadel. People get really hyped about their ability and do nothing.
Yeah, I
else.
was like, God, I'm doing so badly in this game. Can I have 2 gold?
And do you want to build something?
It shouldn't affect Laurie's turn.
Yeah.
I'll
Pause
if I
my
can.
turn.
Unless he was going to steal from
Right.
My money.
People in there, people watching the video need to play. They're going to realise at some point.
Don't worry, guys. This was just a test. I'm going to build the harbour for
Very nice.
Very nice.
there?
You get to be the king. Is there a mission?
Good for me.
I'm going to take 2 of the
Oh no, 2 cards. Sorry. You keep 1 of them.
Yeah. I'm going to spend 3 to build.
You put them on the pile.
I'm going to build the keep.
Oh, what does that do?
The rank 8 character cannot use its ability on the keep.
All of them.
Oh, nice.
So that can't be destroyed by water.
Just sticks around.
Cool.
And that is, I believe, me. Yes, that's me.
Nice, very nice.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Others.
Do you want to say to the camera, Rosie, get on the floor?
What was it again?
Do something about keeps.
Just so you can.
Oh, I've forgotten it. When it's good, I'll remember it.
Oh,
It's getting a little hot in here.
Oh, bad energy.
Oh, actually.
It's like watching Danny and Phil next June.
I might just
I'll lean
interesting. Don't worry, guys. I'll lean forward.
Lean
I'll
forward.
lean out. It's all right. You
Long.
don't need to see that.
So I got this camera. Is there a merchant? Sally, do you want to break John's heart or die?
Oh, you're the merchant.
Yeah. Oh, what? So you get a coin?
That was fun.
But it feels right
Well,
because I
but-
killed.
Oh, you're going to get a lot of dosh, John, says Sally.
I didn't say you're going to get a lot of dosh. I said you're going to get your dosh.
I heard a lot of dosh.
This is your dad.
You heard what you wanted to hear.
Yeah, I did.
Not a lot of dosh, no, I'm afraid not, because I've got
John's been
worse
thinking
fate
about
than
those
you.
4 Werther's originals that he
I
was
was
going
so
to get.
hungry.
So you gain 1 extra gold from being a merchant, plus 1 if you build a trade district.
And I will. And so I'll spend 2 for this, and then I'll just get it back. And I'm spreading the wealth.
Right, there are 2 characters here.
Is there an
One of them's about to miss a turn.
Yes, there is an architect. It's me. Nice. Gain 2 extra cards. You build up to 3 districts.
Go. Money?
Do 3? 3? 2. Money for me? What do I do?
Yeah, money. Well, you can choose to take more cards. Or you can take money.
But you need money to do it.
Go to prison.
Wow. Oh, okay. The king has laid their cards very firmly on the table.
Royal architect, come here. Build me the biggest prison you can.
Would you not like 1 house first, my liege?
No. Lock them up
Bedrooms
first.
as far as the eye.
Do you want to live in the prison that you build? Or do you want to build me a prison?
Well, I guess I would be living somewhere, I suppose.
Finished.
Finished. And
Oh, is there is it warlord or warlock?
Warlord.
Is there a warlord?
Is there a warlord?
Warlord and Sully.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Got killed. I've had a very unfortunate start to this game.
But you still got your money.
I've still got dosh.
It can still be stolen.
It can still be stolen. So
There it
yeah,
is.
we'll see that.
That's it. Putting it in. All to King Rosie.
Oh, great.
It's very yeah. I've had a difficult start here.
I'll say as well, we're still early doors, and being behind early doors is actually a good. You can actually accrue and build, because this is one of those games where you start.
Yeah. I'm not winning. I have 5. He has 5 in 1 building. I have 5 in 2.
Yes, but I'm lucky.
And
Yeah, he's lovely. He's Captain America.
Right. I forgot that part.
Where's your Christmas jumper card?
What kind of Christmas jumper is it? It's a Spider-Man Christmas jumper. What? This one? No, the one.
Oh, this is Winter Soldier.
Ah, yeah.
This has got
Oh, what a shame.
It's-
Come on,
yeah,
Sullivan.
they're all the
Come on.
One of those.
Stupid
They
Sullivan.
all look the same.
They're one of
The
those
whole
little-
Captain
It's
America.
one of those little children.
They're all the same.
They've got big stars on them, you know. It's all the same.
He's one of the little children, the strong children men from the films.
Yeah, exactly. The strong children.
You all love it.
Yeah.
Children, man.
Yeah, they're children men.
Yeah.
What are you talking? These
Children of
hot takes,
men.
man.
Sorry,
These
you got any
absolute hot takes.
Have you never watched Children of Men? That's what it's all about. That's what
It's
it's
the new Marvel
sequel.
movie,
Yeah.
Children of Men. Sequel.
Children of Daddy.
Children of Men, that's a good
Children of
film.
Daddy.
Children of
Yeah,
Daddy.
they all wear hats.
Children of Men, that's a good film.
Children
Take
of
your dad
Daddy,
hat.
starring Larry Blake.
Children of Daddy.
Fucking fucking incomprehensible.
Daddy is the most redundant phrase I've ever heard. It is the most self-proving phrase. Children of daddies.
Okay.
My liege.
You're an assassin.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh.
Wait,
No assassin?
well, that's not. Okay.
It is possible.
Yeah, because you can one something.
They're a thief.
Hello. Oh, there's only one. There's only one thing I can do. You know, if I get lucky, it fucks Sullivan over massively. Architect. I'm gonna go for architect.
Okay. Let's face it. I don't
So I'm going to build.
Who's the magician?
That would be me. I would like to exchange my shitty hand of 3 cards. How many cards do you have?
4 cards.
4. Oh. You don't have lots of cards.
No, but
you like my one?
No.
I've got a shitty hand of 3 cards.
How many cards do you have? Sorry.
Architect last year. It is rude to reveal someone else's cards, Laurie.
Rude to reveal a lady's cards.
Rosie, I've got a lovely 3 cards here for you.
You absolute snake. I got away with that.
Rosie,
I literally don't give a fuck.
Rosie, your face was so guilty. If you're worried that Laurie gave the game away, it was written like. This is a trick my dad used to play when I was 10.
Rosie.
Rosie, the game must
Rosie.
continue.
Please, thank
we go.
you.
Why don't you just become a
Thank
magician
you.
next time? Save my
My
skin.
goodness. Oh, Rosie. Oh, Rosie. Oh, Rosie.
Oh, why do you just piss on the body?
Classic
right.
Blair.
You can steal it back next turn.
Yeah, I'll do what I want.
All right.
Everyone
Don't
here.
offer me advice.
Don't you dare!
I'm the king.
I'm
I don't
lashing
need
out.
your advice.
I'm lashing out.
Can I have 2 coins?
Yes,
Thank
Blair,
you.
yes.
Thank you. I'm just gonna leave it.
All right, who's the king?
'Tis I! The throne returns to the rightful heir.
Want this now?
Yeah, I do. Thank you. Very nice. Sit.
Oh God.
That's a bad angle. His neck's broken. Truly heavy.
He's worn
hangs
it the
hand.
wrong way.
Oh dear.
On my
We're in
face.
trouble.
There we go.
There.
Hello, I'm the king.
I'm the king. This is the way I wear my crown. I feel like the crown draws attention to the important things I'm saying.
Anyway, I've got a series of wars I'd like to start.
Hear ye. Okay, I'm the king. Doesn't really do much, does it? Haven't got any noble districts.
What you could do on this
Oh,
turn.
of course, yes. Can I have 2
Because
points,
you
please?
do have a turn.
I do have a turn. I'm going to follow my predecessor's example, and I'm going to build a military thing. I'm going to build some barracks.
Very nice.
The Regalins.
You're very welcome.
There you go.
Moving on. Mr. King.
Oh, yes. Do we have a bishop?
Yeah, me. I'm the bishop. So I get 2. The warlord cannot target my buildings. I also gain 1 gold for each of my religious districts. I have 1 religious district.
Hey, nice.
And I'm going to build.
Better do a build.
And I'm going to do a build. And I'm going to build with 3 coins some dogs. So we can leave my city.
I built it. Now we're going.
Moving on.
Right.
We've ruined it immediately.
Are you finished, bishop?
I'm finished.
Do we have a merchant?
Me. Gain 1 extra gold.
Yeah.
Or would you like cards?
Or 3.
You can
Yeah,
take.
you can take 3.
You can either take 2 coins or cards.
No, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Regardless of what you choose, you gain an extra gold. So you can do cards and get a gold.
Yeah.
That money.
Yeah. But
Okay.
3 gold.
I'm gonna build a manor.
Another man.
Hot dog?
Gain 1 gold for each of your trade districts, but I don't have that.
Kind.
Okay.
Have I stolen from you, architect? Yeah, sorry about that.
You
Oh,
can
yeah,
do it.
can we,
You're the
excuse me.
Oh, sorry.
Do we have an architect in the court?
Can't for you.
Thief, you may steal.
No.
It's royally sanctioned.
I am so glad I didn't steal from you.
Oh, it would have been, that would have been very
Horrible
sad.
for me.
Yeah.
Horrible for me. Would have been very bad still.
And you'll notice I didn't steal from you.
You don't know who I am.
Not through choice.
And you'll notice.
He knew you weren't
You don't know who I am.
then-
Really was going for the architect thinking that someone might take it. Oh, I've got a lot of money to spend. I could probably build a lot of things.
Was that
So
it's a
I've
market
got
and
an
trading
idea.
post.
Oh
We
yeah, you
definitely
definitely know now who I am.
Yes.
Do we have a warlord?
Oh, we do.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, but it's the warlord's son. He's very upset about an old assassin who came in and killed his dad.
Yes, but not on purpose.
Who lives in a very
Please.
fancy town
was-
hall.
Oh my god, you're gonna spend all your money to do it. Oh, the fanciness.
Now Sully.
Yes.
Now Sully.
Yes.
Now
No,
Sully,
I-
Sully,
do
Sully.
Do it.
Yeah.
Sully,
Forgot
because
about the
then it's just really, it will be bad.
Do it.
Well, would you like your coins first?
You might want cards.
see,
You
yes,
might want cards.
You've got even more money.
What would
The
you
thing is, I am going to go for the coins. But I forgot about the cost element of this, and actually that does kind of fuck with my.
Well, you could do one and just like knock them down a little.
That's cool.
But that's then it's not
Here's the
necessarily
most
the best
points
thing.
on your
Can I just remind you, Sally, it costs one less than the cost on the In case you were worried
Oh,
it's
yeah.
5 cost, it's only 4. I'm sure you knew.
Yes, no, I know that, but it's fucked with my plans nonetheless. My plans are different this turn, so I'm not actually going to take the turn. Be happy to know, because I don't have the dark.
Do that.
You can build first and then decide. I'm
if you
not a
want.
threat
Yeah.
at all.
Well, let's keep it that way.
I think I will. I think I'll first. Yeah, first I'll do exactly that, Charlie. I think I'll build first. I'm going to spend 5.
Oh, hello.
On a lovely fortress.
He's back.
And that is red.
Yes, it is indeed. Grab it. Going back. So now I've got a bit of freedom in terms of gosh. Oh, but I think I'll just get your watchtower for free. It's free.
Oh. He famously hates Jimi Hendrix. His famous song, All Along the Watchtower. Not anymore, Jimmy. You're dead.
Or indeed Bob Dylan who wrote the song.
Yeah, Hendrix was better.
Yeah, it was better.
It is horrible to see someone chanting "Do It" get punished by the world. I'm so sorry for you, Blair.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry for you, Blair.
Oh, I think this has made it much worse.
Gunning for my fucking town hall.
Look at you!
Shit.
Look at you!
My only goal is
You were making a fuss.
I did it for
Yeah,
free.
making
such a fuss.
Also, Blair, you sniped
Yeah.
my fucking building on the first turn.
See, that is an okay reason
Thank you.
to do this.
Yes, there we go.
Not this bullshit.
No, not a reason. I just enjoy your supper. All right.
Anyway, what a lovely turn.
What a lovely turn.
What a lovely turn.
Oh, I'm gonna make a fuss now.
Undecided
I'm gonna
on the
make a
left of
fuss
them.
now. Oh,
the plot of Children of Daddies is
Furious.
heating up.
Children of Daddies.
Children
It's
of Daddies
coming.
too. Electric
Warlord
Boogaloo.
subplot is
Okay.
actually incredible.
There you go.
Oh, yes, of course. No, it's all good, everyone. It's all good. Beefs
Everyone just takes a breath.
squashed.
The beefs have been
The
squashed.
beefs have been
have
squashed.
been
Yeah, no
Beefs
beefs
have been-
anymore. All
Squash,
beefs
squash.
squashed.
Beefs have been eaten. They were delicious. We're all fine now. Our tummies are full. We're ready to play. Got some calm.
Citadels is quite
Yeah.
famous for
Yeah.
this.
Is it?
Yes.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I
I'm
can
not
see it.
surprised.
And it's spiral.
And then spiral of hate.
Oh.
Hot spice content.
All's fair enough.
Better than gin. That Twitter again, it's at @lfakeador. If you don't like my opinion, let me know. 'Cause I want to hear it.
You'll respond to everyone.
LFAKIDOR.
You did promise to respond to everyone.
Oh, if I'd done it then, I am
King.
king. We have an assassin in the house. Who you killing?
I'm debating it. Is there anything we can do to
Sad
help?
assassin.
Should we all just tell you our roles? Kill her.
Why?
I thought.
That seems
Well,
like a
I would have
Okay.
thought the beefs had been
Okay, I'm allowed to carry
guys.
my vendetta. You stole from me. That is my money.
I didn't know you were the architect.
You said
know it for sure.
you said I
didn't know
could
who I
try
was
to kill
seeing.
Sully, or
There's-
I
there's
could more accurately
Squad hit one of us.
Squad.
Oh, these beefs are ballooning.
I hate these
We've opened the
beefs.
can of beef and it's just springing out.
You know what? Fuck you, Blair.
Worst Christmas ever.
No.
Of course, on the
You're not my real dad.
No.
All right, everyone, take a breath.
Won't
Everyone,
make a fuss.
No, no.
I'm not the children of your daddy.
It's okay. You know what? I'm
just take a breath.
I'm going to make things nice in this town. I hope it's over there, and I hope it is. But no thief today. I'm taking my money.
Ooh, you're
I'm not building. I mean, they can't even get me. I'm just saying no thief today, no mean today.
So you're assassinating.
Yes.
Great stuff.
No mean today, she said.
You were not drunk yet. We have a king. And that's perfect.
Sorry,
Is
my
there a thing in my portrait? Maybe that corpse is the thing.
nothing.
We've got no evidence, but
all his purses are cut.
We're even. Truce?
Truce, I suppose. Truce. We're gonna fuck each other over.
That's fair. You stole.
I was gonna steal from the warlord, so the warlord.
And I killed you and you stole from me. It's all poetic justice right now. Our time is fine.
As long as you don't mess these delicate balance.
Yeah, we're all doing well.
It's fine.
Anything you'd like to do? He can't.
Way to rub it in, mate.
Oh, yeah. He's dead, mate. Genuine mistake.
Just sleep onto a corpse. Like, what do you want to do, mate?
Got any aspirations, mate?
Squash this beef, but it's growing.
Tell me about your life plans, you prick.
Yeah, what about your hopes and dreams, you dead bastard? Okay, sorry, that was a genuine mistake.
I wasn't even gunning for you.
I know.
Okay, do we have a magician? Yes, I'm here. Oh, look, it's the magician.
What magic?
Oh, great trick.
I was here the whole
For my
time.
next trick, I'll throw my voice here. Blair, can I have your cards, please?
Yep.
I think Sachi could. Has anyone got lots of cards?
I will do it myself. No, there's a lot of people.
Yeah, is that okay? Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes,
J's
thank you.
Louise. When you get the rest of your turn,
Yeah. Can I have 2 gold, please?
Whack.
Spicy stuff. Spicy meat. Look at this one.
Is that my hat? Yeah. Yeah, it's really good, isn't it, John?
That's my hand, actually. Rose, it's my hand. Thank you.
And the crown. The hand and the crown.
I'm gonna spend 1 coin. Lovely little.
Oh,
Nice.
cute.
You can still visit it.
Or destroy it.
It's under new ownership. How do you feel about that?
I think she's the warlord. I think she's going to destroy it.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, fair enough. Go on.
She will visit.
Yeah. Do we have a bishop?
Oh, well, I know.
Okay. Oh, shit. Who's the king? Do we have a king?
Tis I!
Who could have
There you
foreseen
go.
that?
Hang on, you've missed me out.
Tis I! What a twist!
No fucking respect.
There's a man with a huge crown in the corner being like, I might be the king.
I think we're missing somebody here.
I've been waiting for you!
All right, here we go. So I'm going to take 2 gold.
Lovely.
And I'm going to build myself a manor.
Of course you are.
Don't worry, everyone.
And you get a gold back.
And I get to go back.
Aw,
Right, 2 gold.
lovely.
There we go. All right.
Look at you go. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well done, Your Majesty.
Bloody well done.
Well done, Your Majesty.
He's done ever so well.
He's done ever so well.
Look at how well he's ruling. He's built himself a house.
Oh, he's a genius, our king.
Yeah.
What a big house he's built for himself. And what a big art. What a big art on him.
I do it for you.
Maybe we can come visit one day, my father.
Well, who knows?
I'll put that in the maybe file. All right. Who's ready to bash the bishop? Anyone? Anyone? Have we got a bishop?
Oh, filthy kick.
Yes. No? Anyone ready to bash the merchant?
I'm the merchant. So I'm going to take 2 gold, and I get my 1 extra gold. I'm going to spend 2. And then I get to gain 2 more gold.
Whoa.
That's it.
That's one hell of a good shit. That's how you play.
Huge
Citadel.
saints from Lhasa. And do we have an architect?
Yes. Hello. Okay. I will gain. Yeah, I'm gonna take 2 golds. Thank
There you
you. And 2 extra cards. Thank you. So none of these cards that you've given me. Very nice. Yeah, you took my cards. I'm sorry.
No, I took your cards. You're right. That was the
Mine? Yeah, that's fucking rich.
No, that was the end of the process. I took your
We're all-
cards,
yes.
and you earned them, didn't you? You earned them with your hard
I
work.
did. I worked really hard for those cards. Spitting, fire.
Ooh. Goodness me.
I think she's doing okay.
Yeah, she's doing fine.
No, I'm just gonna hang on to the money. I'm just gonna hang on to it. I'm gonna chill out.
finally, the warlord.
Oh, boom, 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 boom.
Destroy.
What?
Destroy.
Got a warlord in the house, don't you?
You just read the word war and you were like, excellent.
Destroy.
Yeah,
yeah,
2
take-
plus
yes.
you have a prison, so it means you get an extra one.
Unless you were doing build a red and wanted to.
Yeah, because if you build another red, then you can take 2.
That's wild. I'm doing this. Okay.
Nice.
You can destroy up to a 3 coin cost.
Oh, pretty good. Hands up, who's got a free coin one? Everyone except that.
Yeah, I do. Blair's can't be
Blair.
I mean,
Oh,
you,
mine actually
yeah,
can't
that's
be
you can kill either of these, or it will cost you 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can, if you spend 2, you can kill a 3, but it will cost you 1 to kill one of these, or you can destroy. Actually, no, go 1.
No, Laurie's. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, you could destroy that
Yeah,
for 3.
You can do that for
You
free.
can destroy the town.
Adam
you
and
always
Laurie
wanted
are
to see
both
for free.
I would say who's the
Oh,
biggest
but
threat?
Adam, Laurie, and Sully has a lot of high value stuff, but it would cost more. Laurie and Adam.
I'm not doing fucking anyone I
Laurie could end the game actually.
This
if
is
you grab her.
Where to the second bit of crust.
This is the way that Laurie always wins, is that he never
So you
fucks
could be the
anyone
architect next round and you could actually
He
draw
can
2
do
cards.
it,
So
yeah.
okay, I'm going to destroy your card.
That's the round.
Build it. Alright.
Who's the king now?
I'm the king.
Sullivan!
This is I.
Oh no,
King.
I have to pick. Hold on. We get the random first. So we get
True.
Yeah, I like to not have to think about it.
lots of options can be a little.
It's the best analysis paralysis. You always want. Your butt analysis paralysis. Yeah.
Can you pick a wild?
Like, cause like you get bogged down in the different
Well,
options.
good choice.
Yeah. It's also a nice little
I
rhyme.
had to
It is.
That is the press the pig or not a pig voice.
You said that like no one else had noticed. Entire premise of the phrase. Oh, Rosie.
What else do you want to do?
Well, I can bring in some new laws. Anyone got any ideas?
I love it. Crowdsource these laws.
Why don't we make a law? One word at a time.
Abolish the
One-
game.
Make a law.
One word at a time. All
I
right.
love how much you like one word at a time.
I love
Okay.
this game. It's so funny.
Laurie, can you start us off first?
Never!
Sit. Cross.
Legged.
With
Your
daughter.
sons of daddies. Sons of daddies only.
Never sit cross-legged with your daughter.
That shall be the first commandment!
The king has decreed his first
The king turns around to the never sit cross-legged with your daughter! You're wearing the crown wrong, sire.
Oh, this is how I know it.
Descended from the mountain with stone tablets written in crayon.
The man who says he's wearing the crown wrong is like, kill that man! Immediately.
Push him close to my face.
All right, I think it's a good start.
Never sit cross-legged with your daughter.
Sons of daddies.
And also, all coins have been replaced by tangerines.
Oh, he's gone rogue.
That is
But he
more
has
significant.
drawn his own face on all of them. Tangerines to be bred with my face on.
Also, money will now go off. That's going to be difficult. So think quick.
Think fast.
Think fast.
It's a real equalizer.
It's a high stakes economy.
Think fast.
You got to know what you want to
I
buy.
like to move fast and break things in this economy. Oh, king, you're insane.
The real money is in the fruit bowls.
Money does grow on trees.
That's your joke of the day.
Yeah, we got it.
That's your second
Oh,
joke of the
absolutely
day.
thrilled. Thank you. I had them both actually. Didn't
Yeah,
I?
you've had both. Amazing. Yeah, you did. How do you come up with them, Rosie?
God, just
Your mind.
What's your process?
no, I just listen and.
Listen. Just listen.
Just listen to other people's
One thing you don't do is listen.
Well, to be fair, Laurie, she did listen to your joke and then told it again. So that's something.
Pretty good listening.